Okay, I think now's as good a time to start as any. Hello. Good morning, I guess? It's like 9:35 where I am, and I wanted to sleep in today because it's my first day off after uh 2 straight weeks of work and another half week or so. But yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. It is I, Benry Paints. No painting today. I have kind of a mixed idea of what I want to do between like my hobby crafting and potentially playing Space Marine 2. First and foremost, though, I have something really cool to show you guys. It was given to me yesterday as part of payment for another commission, and I'm pretty sure if you're on my Discord, you already know what it is. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. Let's turn off the starting soon image. Turn off starting soon. Turn on main camera. Bang! Oh, you can't see anything. That really stinks. Terrible aim. Hey, Dark Volt, good morning. Good afternoon, whatever time it is in your time zone. I'm very excited to be here right now because I have this. I'm so excited. This is my first Primarch. And while, I am an Imperial Fist player, I'm extremely excited for this one because it's just like the coolest Primarch they've put out. First of all, I'm honestly surprised at how not large this box is. I've got the camera zoomed in, but it's not an exceptionally large box. I can kind of grip it with my hands. And I know it's supposed to be model scale, so he's not super big or anything, but for some reason I just felt like it would be more impressive. But yeah, how are you doing? Hopefully things are going well for you. Haven't seen you in a minute, but here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yes. Yes, this is a good model. This is a good model. There's some of the instructions. I cannot wait to put this together. He's got a display base. He's got all sorts of cool stuff going on. I am very excited to put this guy together. You were asleep when I streamed? You have no reason to apologize for that. Sleep is important. I wish I could get more of it. Yeah, look at this exploded view of Horus. This is what happened to him right after the Emperor erased him from existence. He was like, I can't believe Steve Jobs died of Ligma. And Horus was like, who the hell is Steve Jobs? And he was like, Ligma balls. Boom! And then this happened. So yeah, if you cannot tell, I'm very tired. The new IT job that I have has been really good, but I had to work weekend. I had to work the weekend, which I was not expecting. So I'm incredibly tired. This happened when he was reassembled by Chaos after he got shish kebab by the Emperor. Exactly. It also came with this. I've actually never... this was apparently checked by some blurry numbers, some blurry letters on 19th of August, 2022. And that's really cool to me. I love the fact that they're like, some resin may come bad. It may be bad. So put it in hot water and then straighten it back out because we're bad. And some other resin is not going to fit right. So be aware that there are going to be gaps because our quality control is not good. That's really funny to me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They actually straight up tell you, have a saw handy. You're going to need a saw. This is a super glue accelerator. What? What? Super glue accelerator, 2-part epoxy. I get that because some of these models are huge. I do love that they actually give you some really good advice on some of these. I also love that they tell you about shims. Shims are used to allow resin to flow through a mold without completely filling a gap that's part of the model. You see them in canopy frames, etc. So I actually have to cut out the shim if there is one. And then they advertise paint. Do they even have those paint pots anymore? I don't know if you can see them. There they are. I don't think Games Workshop sells these anymore. Oh, no wonder. This thing was printed. It was copyright Games Workshop 2015. So this is a almost 10-year-old set of instructions. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still wild. I think it's really cool. But that's very funny to me, that they have to warn you that our models are going to be remarkably inconsistent. Though to follow up on that, as I look at these guys, this looks fantastic. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because of the light, but look at the quality of this base. Forge World's no longer its own shop. I have not seen those paint pots in store since. I know, right? But yeah, like, look at this. Look at the quality that's happening there. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm scared of having to cut off those support beams, but we'll see. I have put together a Forge World model a grand total of once, because I bought an Emperor's Children Contemptor Dreadnought and to make Ancient Rylanor. And so that's the only, I think that's the only Forge World model I've put together. Everything else has been fine cast. Wow. This feels very substantial. This is a big lad. Okay. I really wish they made these easier to take out so I didn't feel like I was, you know, breaking them. Okay, here's most of Horus. And yeah, he's large. That shoulder is huge. Where's his head? Well, there's some of his claws. I have no idea what that is, but I feel like it broke off, because there's something over here that I think broke off. Cut it off first. A bit proud, and then you can stick the smaller pieces where you could... Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. But yeah, this is really impressive. This is very cool. Yeah, I figured I'm going to have to do like I do with some of the thicker sprue bits, in that it's just going to have to be chunked off, and then kind of gently shaved down. I really appreciate the little foam dealies they put on, but it'd be cool if they put them everywhere. Oh, there's a dead guy. I think he's a dead Solar Auxilia. Okay, and then, of course, we've got some display bases, which are the only things in here that are made out of plastic. And the rest of the empty box. This can go over here for now. I'm actually going to use the lid to catch resin as I shave it off. So we'll see how this goes. My god, there is so much here. The first thing it suggests doing is putting together the power claw. So I'm kind of anxious, because it's like, put together this extremely small, fragile bit first, and try not to break any of it. Okay, so I need parts 11 through 19, it looks like. But the numbers they put on here don't match up with the numbers that they have on that. Where is the gun? Where is gun hand? Excuse me, sorry. I had to sneeze. Okay, let's slice this open and see what we got going on here. I'll go ahead and cut this off because I've got a razor knife. Oh no, my sinuses have decided that today they're going to choose violence, I guess. Oh, I think this is, yeah, this is his claw, I suppose. Don't forget to wash the resin. Oh no, I didn't even think about that. I remember putting Rylanor together, and I think there's supposed to be something on here, but it's not. That's an odd one. To me, the fact that there are pieces that are just straight up missing is a little weird to me. I think, oh, no, it's not missing. That's what this was attached to, right? This thing was, like so, and it popped off. Because, yeah, I know that we're supposed to wash a resin, but, isn't that because there's a release agent that's attached to it? And that release agent, is an issue. Oh, there's Horus's head. I can't wait to paint that. So, what's probably going to happen is I'm going to promptly forget to wash my resin, just like I did with Rylanor. And after I kind of super glue him together, I'll realize, oh yeah, I was supposed to wash the resin. And then, if the super glue sticks, of course. And then I'll go from there, because I'm way too excited right now to think about doing things the smart way. This is a super cool model. What else do I got going? The release agent can get in the way of both gluing and painting. Oh, well that sucks. One moment, please. You know what I can do? I can go upstairs and get a bowl of soapy water, because I already have. Hey Layla, how's it going? Thank you for dropping by. Right now, I'm in the process of putting together Horus Ascended, because I received him as a payment for a a commission that I did, and Darkvolt is giving me good advice on how I should prep this stuff, because there's a release agent on the resin, and I need to go through and wash it off. So what I'm going to do next, I suppose, is go back upstairs and get a bowl of soapy water, and I've already got a toothbrush, so I'll just use both of those things to wash this off, and then it'll be good, I guess. Oh, what the? We have the sample. Yes, this model is amazing. I'm very excited to paint it. I'm not even a Sons of Horus player. They are not my main army by a long shot. I have a single other Sons of Horus / Black Legion model, and I bought that purely as this is a cool model, I want to paint it. And that is an Abaddon from 40k. So I got a few Dreadnought weapons and a Dark Angel Venerable Dread. That's really neat. The person who got this for me, Mommy Dova, is another regular on the channel that watches, and they play Dark Angels, so when they get into Horus Heresy, I'm pretty sure they're going to ask me to paint the lion for them, because I think they ordered the lion. But yeah, right now I'm just trying to take inventory of what I need. I might take a second to run upstairs and grab that bowl of soapy water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there an extra? Oh, there is an extra one. I'm sorry not much is going on screen, but I'm kind of taking inventory right now of where everything is and where it's supposed to be. Because the way these are all set up is they're gated on these bases. Like that. Yeah, well, you're going to, most likely, because like I said, Rayla is buying the Horus Heresy Lion, and they've made it very clear that they want me to paint it. So, I think that's the right piece. That looks like it. So, yeah, they want me to paint it to be lore accurate, so I'm going to be doing, like, the Black Knight armor version of the lion, which is going to be neat. But yeah, I'm actually going to be right back so I can get that, that little bowl of soapy water so I can scrub off the release agent on these guys. You're doing some customizing of your Stompa and just watching streams in the background. Well, thank you for viewing this one. I'm sorry if I sound a little funky. I have, like, sinus issues with the changing of pressure, and I just sneezed earlier, and it seems to have unleashed the floodgates. But yeah, I will be right back. Be right back. And be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm glad that you guys enjoy that picture. At some point, I'm going to have to just do a really sloppy MS Paint over it, so it's my little model. And with his pants still up. But yeah, that made me laugh way too hard the first time I saw it when a friend sent it to me. So I was like, that needs to be part of the stream somehow. Okay, so I have a cup of soapy water, and I've got a very old ratty toothbrush. So I'm gonna go ahead and use those. And actually, you know what would actually be helpful? Maybe if I put a glove on so I'm not getting this all over my hands. Okay. I've also got this ratty old glove. Oh, it now has a hole in it, so that one's going in the garbage. I made this bad habit of using these nitrile gloves until they're basically worn out. And that one finally tore, so that's what's happening. Okay, so this one's good. Gonna take this, gonna scrub it a little bit. And I'm actually not sure how far I need to go with this. Because I've never... Like, when I did Rylanor, I'm almost positive I didn't bother scrubbing off the release agent, and somehow everything still worked okay. So, this model was way too expensive for me to take that same risk on. So I'm going to go through and scrub the crap out of him. And hope that this all turns out okay. And actually, you know what would be a good idea? I'm going to turn on the airbrush. Or turn off the airbrush. Turn off the airbrush? Uh-oh. One moment. Oh. One of the plugs on my power strip is dying, I think. But yeah, so I can just use the airbrush to just kind of knock off all the moisture on this. That way I don't have to fight that later either. Now, I guess the other thing that's going to worry me a little bit is I'm not really sure what part of this is actually part of the model and what part of this isn't. Oh, that pulsing is no good. I think I'm going to move stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what's causing it. The fact that so much isn't focused. Move that out of the way. The release agent could be applied lightly, or it could have been previously cleaned, but it's a good idea to at least scrub yourself to it. That's absolutely fair. I can get that. It's more of a cover your butt kind of thing. But yeah, I think the next biggest thing for me is definitely going to be, I'm not sure which parts of these are actually part of the model and which aren't. I feel like this bit right there is not part of the model, because it doesn't look like it. This right here. But no? Yeah, I'm not really sure, but there are some little bits and bobs I can see. Like right in here, this little bit is not part of the model. I forgot I did get my Contemptor Dreadnought torso, so I have a bit more Forge World experience than I thought. Yeah, well, I mean, that's definitely good. I'm glad that you were able to remember. Okay, what other parts of this need to be hooked off? I think there's a little bit of... What's also not going to help is this is no longer a good knife. This is an old beat-up blade that I've had for a long time, and I actually specifically save for doing this kind of work because the new blade is too sharp. I suppose I'll find out whether or not that piece is useful when I try and attach it, and it ends up being... Oh, this resin's remarkably soft. And it ends up not fitting correctly, and then I'll just shave it off then. Okay, we got a little bit of that same, I guess I'll call it shimming, right here, so I'll go ahead and knock that off as well. Yeah, Forge World resin is so wild to me. And I think it's because I mainly deal with UV resin, so I'm not used to seeing how delicate and weird... Is this part of the model? Do you guys think that this thing is part of the model? Because it looks like it's part of the model, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's part of the model. It's got kind of the same trim. No, that can't be part of the model. Okay, okay. I mostly just call on my paranoia to remind me of these things. It's a shame to have a model break because I forgot in the beginning. Yeah, exactly. I don't think this is. So it's going to get chopped off. Because it looks like the cuff is supposed to end right here. Yeah, that popped off way too easy. We're just going to go ahead and assume, and if I'm wrong, feel bad about it later. Okay. The amount of detail they are getting on these things is wild to me. But yeah, that's about good. Okay, and these ammo belts. Again, I take some of you, just kind of scrub this right here. Scrub the ammo belt. And spray the ammo belt. Because that should theoretically knock off most of the moisture. This is such an incredibly delicate model. Pop that off there. Pop that off down there, down there. And see, this is what scares me, is with these tiny little bits, like, they're already super fragile. So, whoops, what's going to happen when I accidentally, or when I leave too much on there and I try and shave it off? But, like you said, you've got more experience with the Forge World resin. It is pretty soft, so theoretically, practically, it should shave better, is my best bet. Like, that came off pretty good, so that maybe it's not going to be a problem. But yeah, I'm very anxious and excited to paint Lionel Johnson too, because he's going to be in the Horus Heresy colors, so he's going to be pretty much like the box art, is I think what Mommy Dova wants. They want him to look pretty much like he does on the cover. And it's softer to cut than GW plastic, and some gates are just super thick. Yeah, that is true. And also, these gloves are not helping with my dexterity. I'm just hoping I'm staying on camera. Okay, no, that's not cutting. Go ahead and gently apply pressure. Yes, there we go. See, my biggest fear now is with how soft they are, that I'm just going to accidentally cut deeply into the model and lop off a chunk of it that that shouldn't have been cut off, you know? Especially when it's this tiny a piece. So yeah, I finally played a little bit of 40k yesterday. Again, it's been a long time. I haven't played in what feels like months. And Mommy Dova played against me when they exchanged, or when they dropped off the Horus. And I got to find out that I don't know if I really like the actual 40 gameplay that much. The 40k gameplay. It's definitely got something going for it, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't have very much fun. Accident happens, green stuff is an option. That is true. That is true. Green stuff is definitely a potentiality, or a decent alternative. What I did buy, specifically for this, though, was, Ninjon apparently found this cheap UV resin and a UV flashlight that together are less than like 20 bucks. And he started using them for gap filling. So, because it already is a semi-liquid form, it kind of goes on smoother, and you can just use it to fill in the gaps, and because it's colorless, it doesn't really leave any clear indicator that it's been there, and then you just prime over it with black and it disappears. And you know, once it does that, where am I putting the garbage? Oh, there's the garbage. So that's definitely an option and something I'm considering doing. Or not considering, I just straight up bought it. So it'll be here tomorrow, and there's a pretty good chance I'll stream tomorrow morning too, as I use that to see if it works. But it's like you paint it in there, and then you hit it with the resin flashlight for like 30 seconds, and then you check to see what the levels are like, and then if you need to, fill it in more. So we'll see how good that is, because he swears by it, and the guy won a Golden Demon, so I trust his opinion pretty implicitly. Especially since he still kind of, you know, very earnestly puts forth that "aw shucks, I'm just a painter" kind of thing, when he's clearly got, you know, a tremendous amount of skill. So while his word is not the gospel, I do feel like there is some credibility he's got going on there. I'm scared. I'm scared of doing these last little bits. There we go. There we go. I don't even know if I'm on camera. That depends on how the tool feels for you. Yeah, exactly, right? Because some people swear by X tool, and it turns out that it's really uncomfortable to use and you don't like it. And you might swear by Y tool, and other people are like, no, that tool's no good, but it's clearly doing well for you. So I'm going to give it a shot. It was like $20 total between the resin and the flashlight. And honestly, even if I can't use it for that specific task, I'll still be able to use it, because it'll still be a, you know, I can use it for like making liquid and drool and blood and the like. Okay, so I think the next thing I want to grab, I think this piece is 17. And I think that goes on the gauntlet, based on what's been set up for me. I probably should have washed this before I took it off the... There we go. That's going to have to do. Yeah, water effects. So it'll at least give me more variety, more fun to play with my bases. Because that's where I want to kind of level up next. I feel like I've hit a pretty comfortable spot with my painting. So the next thing for me is making my bases at least complement my painting rather than being kind of an afterthought. Because that's where I feel they are right now. You were not joking when you were saying that some of these gates are thicker, and this one is still a relatively thin one, but I am not enjoying the potentiality of cutting off my finger. Or cutting into my finger. I think this is just one that this is just going to require a lot of patience. Okay, now where do you go? I guess since you're a thumb... Oh, you're not for the thumb. Are you for the thumb? Yes. You're not the thumb. You're just a horn that goes in here. So, oof. Hopefully this will work. But yeah, that's something else I'm looking forward to using it for. His first show of it in the video that I was watching was him just using it as like spilled alcohol in front of a goblin in a tavern. And then he was like, oh yeah, and it also can be used for this amazing purpose. I went, oh my goodness, that's something I need to buy, because gap filling is something I'm exceptionally lazy about. So, hopefully, let's probably fit this one more time. Hopefully when that comes in, it's going to be super useful. This tiny little horn is supposed to fit in here, and I think I got it to the point where it does. Okay. Now, I'm praying that I did a good enough job, and there's not a whole lot of releasing agent on these models anymore. But first, I gotta get the glue to come out, don't I? Let's see. Oh gosh, that's really out of focus. I'm sorry, guys. I'm focusing so hard on this model that I can't really pay attention to the focus on the camera. Please. Please work. Come on, super glue. I believe in you. Uh-oh. Are you... No, you're just... I've used a lot of you. There we go. I just need a dab. Just the tiniest of dabs. And then this can go here. And hopefully, if I hold it for a second, it will stay? Maybe? I made my own minis by just adding piece by piece to an arm or a head, and they look like they walked out of a trash bin. I hide every gap with a piece of plastic. I mean, that's absolutely fair. They also, like... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. My glove. It glued to my glove. You son of a bitch. That's always something you can do. Sprue goo is an option, and that was what I've been using, is I've been trying to do sprue goo, but I find sprue goo to be very infuriating, and I hate using it, so I try not to. Okay, let's pinch that together and hope it stays this time. But if you can make it work, then more power to you, because that's been my thing, is that I'm very by the numbers with a lot of this stuff, and I'm incredibly envious of those who aren't, because I think that that's its own incredible skill. That's going to go right there. Actually, it's going to go where you guys can see. It's going to go right there. It gives them a certain kit bash charm. Exactly. I got a buddy who started with orcs, and all of his orcs are essentially kit bashed because he didn't have the money to really buy them for himself. So he purchased a whole ton of already assembled models and just made them unique. And that requires a lot of creativity and vision, I feel. And I think it's super cool that his orc army just is this fun-looking thing. I use sprue goo for gore that you painted bloody. See, that's another smart way to use it. Again, this is why I love the hobby so much. There's so much unfettered creativity that goes on with it. I could show you my latest one on Discord. Go for it. I love seeing new stuff. But what I'm going to try and do right now, while it's still on my mind, is I'm going to try and get some of this leftover flashing off. So when it rings or dings or whatever is when I'll go ahead and check on it. But I'm really zeroed in on trying to get this model as clean as possible. So it might take me a second. But yeah, don't ever be afraid to post models on Discord. You know, unless they're hateful or something. I don't know. Oh, my camera froze. Camera, why? One moment. Oh, is everything back? Everything's back. Did something show up in Discord? No, not yet. No, I was thinking... You do Imperial Guard. Yes, you do. And I can't remember which Imperial Guard... They're all hateful. That is true. That is true. The Imperial Guard are the second most xenophobic thing in the game, and there's nothing wrong with xenophobia, at least not in the scope of Warhammer 40k, because everyone is supposed to be xenophobic. Okay. So yeah, let's just scrape some of this off. He couldn't handle me showing up. I mean, apparently not, Arya. How's it going, Arya? How you doing? Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. So I got my own Forge World Primarch. I experimented to cast plastic parts with sprue goo, but it bubbles up too much. But it would make good corroded parts. So what I'm hearing is if I want to have more Death Guard, I should make them out of sprue goo. This seems like a good idea. This seems like a good idea. But yeah, I'm, as part of payment for a commission piece, I was gifted Horus Ascended. So I now have a Horus Ascended that I'm slowly trying to get off of the sprues and having like mini heart attacks for every small bit that I might heck up. Because this is an intense model. It's not as intense as Fulgrim Transfigured, but my goodness, there's a lot of little bits here. Good, you got it posted? I'll check it out in a second, okay? Just let me finish doing some shaving here. I'm really nervous about these little posts on the claws, so I'm gonna try and get them off of the claws, and then I'll check the Discord, okay? That way I'm not having to split my concentration. Come on, baby. Almost got you. But yeah, Arya, how are things going? Good to see you again. I see you've been streaming a little more again, and that's cool. I just haven't had time. Fulgrim Transfigured was insane to assemble. Yeah, tell me about it. I bet he was. I can probably go back and watch. I don't know how far back your videos go on the archives, but I'm pretty sure that like putting him together must have been an absolute nightmare. I've been dealing more with fine cast than with resin, and I completely forgot just how fiddly Forge World resin actually is. Like, I remembered it having kind of a negative reputation. I'm sure the VOD is long gone for that one. Well, that stinks. I have a YouTube channel that I've been uploading my VODs to, just kind of for posterity. And, I don't really do anything to them. I don't edit them or anything. But they exist. Okay, let's see what we got in the showcase. Heck yeah, this is Jurgen, named after the silly stinky guardsman. What model is that based out of? Because it's really cool. But I don't recognize it. Let's open that in browser. Open that in browser. But yeah, that is some super fun kit bashing. Okay, I think there should be one more picture. Where'd you go? Open in browser. Okay, let's see what we got. Forge World resin. I thought it was always a good quality resin. You would hope so. Forge World resin is nice. It's nice and soft, I guess. Okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. One moment. Bang! Very cool. This is supposed to be Jurgen. And yeah, I guess that is the right size, isn't it? Because he's on a base. He's named after the... I mean, Jurgen's also a blank, isn't he? I forget. The base was an ass part of an Imperial Knight. And an arm from a bloodthirster turned into a leg. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Yep, there's the butt. Love the rust effects you got going on there. Good lord, look at this guy. The rest of it kind of looks like it comes from Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah, look at this guy. There's a lot going on with that. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. You got some puppet spore cast, and the resin is pretty tough as is Cromlech. I'm scared to buy resin casts from any of those guys because of having a resin printer. It's just like, I don't know. The resin that you can print from, I use a combination of tough and fast from Soraya Tech, and it's made for very, very hard resin that also has flex to it, and honestly, I love it. I love the resin that I have. The head is from a troll. Okay, that's what I thought. And I love it for having like a fully realized model printed out and ready to go. But I can't imagine having it on sprues like this stuff is. And I do know that, for example, shaving it down to make it fit is a nightmare. But honestly, it does a good job of keeping everything in pretty decent size that I don't really need to. You have a huge amount of troll bits and you're chatting with a guy working on Gloomsky Gets Army. You gave me all those leftover parts. Need to buy more parts when you want more. Yeah, that is true. That's a big reason why I prefer, why I'm happy I bought my own. Okay, so this goes on here somehow. A dry fit. Oh, just right there and there like that. Okay. Horus's claw is increasingly being assembled. And it looks like so far it's doing okay. But yeah, I've kind of decided that, especially because of the economics of it, I am going to make a Sons of Horus army. It's just that all of the infantry is going to be 3D printed because I can't afford that much infantry. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and buy all the vehicles and like the special characters. Okay. So that did not stick correctly. Now it shall stick correctly. Stick in there correctly. Perfect. A+. No further question. No further criticism. There we go. Okay, this is going to take me all morning. I'm not going to finish this guy. There's so much to him. But the good news, after this, I'm most likely going to play some Space Marine 2, but if I do that, it's going to be upstairs, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have a mic set up. If I do, it's probably not going to be this nice, because I'm probably going to use my headset that I have, which is just like a cheap earbud microphone combination. Or I might get squirrely. I might bring my microphone upstairs and do it that way. Who knows? But I'm actually pet sitting for a friend, and I don't want to leave his dog upstairs for too long. He's perfectly fine, like he's pretty able to take care of himself. He's also very lonely, and I don't want the doggo to be lonely. I think this one, I'm so scared to touch this now because there's so many bits. Okay, which finger do you go in? Which finger do you go? Not that one. You go in this, maybe it's that one? I don't know. You go in this one? I legitimately can't tell. My goodness. And the thing is like we saw earlier, these are not particularly numbered, so I'm kind of having to go up it. Oh no, Puppo. Yeah, no, he's fine. He's a very old Chihuahua, and he's got friends up there. My other dog is up there, and my 2 cats are up there. And they all treat him well. So, he's going to be okay. I'm not neglecting him. I actually just spent most of the morning with... Oh my goodness, that scared the crap out of me. I just got a text of some kind, and my sound effect for it, I don't know if you heard that, is a sound edit of Jumba from Lilo and Stitch screaming, "Whoa!" And it's really loud. And it was right next to my eardrum, so it made me jump quite a bit. I think that goes there, so we're going to put that there. That was probably my wife alerting some family members that she's... at the convention hall and everything's all set up. Oh, there that went. Because my wife is at a convention right now. She's trying to meet people and sell cool stuff. Yep, that's happening. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do something about that because that's gonna scare the heck out of me every time. I go here. Okay, yeah. No. I'm not hearing that every 2 seconds as she talks to her family. That's just gonna buzz a bit. Okay. Back there. I'll be back in a second, guys. I'm still here, but oh, that's okay. That's obnoxious. Can I put it on silent? On silent. Now that's back. And now main camera. That's back. Okay. Horus, your hand is looking kind of funky. Is everything okay, buddy? Oh wow, they're even mold. I mean, of course they're going to be mold lines because it's in a mold, but there are even mold lines on this thing. I'm going to have to shave those down as best I can. Oh my goodness. I really want this model to look as good as I humanly can make it, so if I see anything like this, I guess I'm just going to have to be careful. Is that in there all the way? Did I do a good enough job putting that in there? I did not. Okay. How am I going to fix that? I'm learning things, guys. I apologize, but I'm learning things. Go ahead and get more of that. Yeah, we're just going to blob that on there. So hopefully, that will hold on to it better. There we go. Now it's completely encased in super glue. So that'll just stay there. I'm just going to hold on to it. You're learning. I am learning. I'm learning as best I can. Now, like I said, the biggest thing for me is I'm worried that these are the wrong fingers because they're not really clearly labeled. They're just all on a thing that says GW16. So it's like, which one is which? Because they're all about the same size. I guess this has to be... No, maybe that's the pinky. Because size-wise... I don't know. How's that matching up for you guys? I guess maybe that is the pinky. Uh-oh. Do they look the same? I mean, kinda. What is going on with the focus? There we go. They kinda look the same, but that definitely looks like the smallest one. So I think maybe I've got this one in the wrong slot. Mayhaps? But it doesn't look like it fits in there either. It's kind of at an off-kilter angle. And it's got... I don't know. Wow. They've got some weird angles going on here. Like I said, maybe it's smaller because it's in the glove. Well, let's see. I'm gonna put this up against here. Yeah, no, you're right. No, wait, no. It is a smidge smaller than the other one. And is it a smidge smaller than this one? Oh, it's much smaller than that middle one. And then we got this one back here where it's actually, yeah, it's about the same size as that one. And so I'm not sure where this one actually goes. Instructions unclear, glued to head. And what's weird is, like, there's actually a little indentation in the glove right here. In that case, you'd cut, I had the same problem you have right now, trying to figure out where all the cables on the sword go of the arm of the stomp, but yeah, I know, right? I'd cut them all and organize by length. That is fair. I think I'm going to do that. So that one's going to go right here where it's visible. And then I'm going to cut this one. And I'm going to shave it down because they all need to be shaved just a little bit. I know that they suggest that you need to be at least 15 to paint, to model these, to like assemble them. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could have done this at 15. I would have been way too impatient and wild with it, and this would have turned out miserable. I have extreme respect for anyone who is in their teens and was like, I bought a Forge World model, and then was like, I assembled it and it looks great. It's like, what is it? They have the Young Masters competition field or whatever for Golden Demon, and their painting is just absolutely phenomenal. It's like that, right? You wouldn't have had the patience at 20. Yeah, exactly. This is a huge reason why I'm kind of really happy I got into the hobby when I did. I had the patience and the discipline to really take my time and want to grow and want to learn. Because when I was younger, I most certainly did not. And see, since this is the longest one, I would pretty much... You're 22. Good lord. Good for you. It's really impressive watching people who are considerably younger just be good at these things. And I mean, I guess 22 isn't too young. I'm in my late 30s, so I've had plenty of time to kind of mellow. But some people are just a lot more composed for their age than I was. You're just over a year into it. Well, I'm glad you're in the hobby, and I'm glad you're having fun. That's the biggest thing. If you're having fun doing it, then more power to you. I remember getting the old TIE Fighter I painted with gloopy Revel paints. If I had the model today, I'd make it look so good. I got myself as a Stompa as a reward for completing 1 year. Reward yourself! From what I understand, too, the Stompa is a notoriously difficult model or to put together. And yeah, I've told this story before. I think I've done it quite a bit on this channel. But, I got a model from Robotex/Macross. And I was so excited. Yeah, happy anniversary. Happy 1 year. Hopefully it's one in a succession of many more. Okay. I honestly can't tell. I think this one is the shortest. And then this one is a little bit longer. And then it's this one that's the longest. And then that one that is the second longest. The instructions manual was a piece of paper with different blobs like gray, and that was it. Yeah, that's how they used to do it. That's what the instruction manual was for my, for the Vindicator. It's just like, these parts go here. But, like, I haven't seen the Stompas, but I anticipate that one's gotta be god-awful. No numbers, no colors, no nothing. Yeah. I can imagine. I think that since this is the middle finger, it's gotta be... It took me 2 days to build it. I get that entirely. Yeah, like I said, my understanding is that some of the older instructions were remarkably like, best of luck. Hope you can do it, kid. Okay, so I think this one goes here. Oh my goodness, there's even mold lines on the skull. I'm not going to be able to reach that. The old model kits didn't need to be precise. The new monopos make precise instructions necessary. That is also true. You know, when you're putting together tactical marines and the like, it's like, yeah, just fit where they fit. They're pretty static posed, so you don't have to worry too much about them matching up. But with, like, the current stuff, you know, this chest plate goes to this specific hip, goes to this specific leg. And if you mess it up, then it's not going to fit at all. Mold lines on legs you got there. Yeah. You build one, you build all of them. Yeah. I actually got to see that with the Savage Orcs and the Black Rock Orcs that someone gave me a while ago. I made a promise to them that I was going to use those in a really cool diorama, and that promise still stands. I just kind of got to get to a point where I feel comfortable building that diorama. Because they're exceptionally cool models, and they deserve to be on a really cool display. But I just don't feel comfortable making it yet. Okay, I think this is going to be the index finger. At this point, I'm just kind of like, hopefully it's all going to work. And again, I apologize for all the zooming in and zooming out. I'm using my cell phone as a camera, and it gets pretty good sharpness, whoops, but its autofocus is wild. And so that leads to some weirdness there. Okay, this is making more sense now that I have more of them in place, because I think he's supposed to be kind of curling his hand as he goes, which is why that last finger is kind of inward, so it's supposed to be like this, as opposed to being splayed out like this. Okay. And now... I'm glad the camera's fine for you. It keeps, depending on where I have my hands, it keeps, like, rapidly autofocusing and pulsing. And I know for my motion sickness, it's absolutely terrible. So I apologize for anyone else who's watching, and it's just going all over the place. And I should not have put this one in last. I should have waited and done the pinky finger last. There we go. Yeah, see, like, that makes sense now. This selection of fingers makes a whole lot more sense. And this guy now has a hand. King Shark would be proud of him. But okay, next, I'm scared to put on these belt loops, holy shit. Okay, I believe... Well, I just dropped it, and the horn on the bottom fell off, because the glue is not a super strong bond. So we're going to go ahead and re-glue that, and I'm just going to cry a little bit. I'm joking, there is no crying. Not today. All the tears were of joy from getting this model. Dropped it again. My god! That's the other problem. Everything's so tiny. It's like tiny and smooth. And both of those are going badly for me. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to that and hope that it stays. I'm actually going to hold on to it with my non-gloved hand. We're going to put you back in there. And there we go. I think that's going to stick okay. Again, I apologize that this is off camera. That was me building Fulgrim. Superglue is the bane of my existence. I get that. Superglue is both awesome and awful because it's like that Goldilocks thing where you've got to put just the right amount on or else it never dries. And if you don't put enough on, it doesn't dry strong enough. I'm just going to hold this here for a second, guys. It's just going to stay there and we'll deal with it. Okay, there we go. No, and see now it's off kilter. That's gonna look terrible. I think what I'm gonna have to do is scrape the oh wait, no. I wiggled it enough, I think. Come on, come on. Yeah, because it dries it dries out. Oh cool, my wife is having a really good time. Okay, come on camera. Zoom, zoom, zoom. There we go. Yeah, if you blow on it, it dries out, and that's the cool thing about it mechanically. My goodness. But yeah, this glove is actually making things worse. So, glove coming off. Goodbye. But I actually have a fan that I use every now and then, and I remember when I first found out about the, what is that? When I first found out about, like, the air thing doing it, it reacts to moisture. Is that really it? I thought it was that, like, it being kind of agitated is what did it, but I have no clue. Thank you for the tip. I also don't want to blow too much because I've got a mic next to me, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't need to hear me blowing into the mic. That is incorrect. Need to go in here. Can you fit in there? Because there is like a coin slot for you to fit into. I mean, I think that's going to do okay. Yeah. And once again, I did it wrong. I should have put the bottom one on first. Gosh darn it. Eventually I'll learn, guys. Superglue flash reacts when it's dropped into water, which is why it instantly sticks to your skin. Benry does AMR while filming Forge World. No, I don't want to do that, though. That's scary. That's going to attract the wrong type of people to my channel. Okay, come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah, I picked it up without breaking it. Again. That'll go right here. Right there. And there we go. I think the glove hand is done. I think? I guess? Do I have these on the right way? I don't even know. I don't think it matters. It looks good. Like they're trailing off. It looks fine. Next is gonna be... Oh my god. Okay. Next is gonna be his banner? His cloak? His cloak. Next is gonna be his cloak. I have to sneeze. I will be right back. This is gonna go in the corner where I can't hurt it anymore. And I'm gonna try not to sneeze into the mic. And additionally, I'm going to pull out the cloak bits, which look like everywhere. Is this a cloak bit? That looks like a cloak bit, so that's going to go there. There are so many parts to this. This looks like a cloak bit. There's a cloak bit. Are these cloak bits? Why are there so many cloak bits? No, these are not cloak bits. Those can go over there for now. That is not a cloak bit. What the heck is this tiny little... Oh, it's a... Not a cloak bit, so I don't care about it right now. Okay, what else do we have here? That's a shoulder. That's a pelvis. That's a... What is this? What is this? I think it's part of a base. It's got to be part of a base. This looks like it's his body, so this is going to go elsewhere. And these are not cloak bits, so they're going to go back in here. And that's going to go under here. That's not a cloak. There are cloak bits in here. Son of a gun. Okay, okay, I can do this. Oh, and next is going to be his mace. So I guess I should also do the mace. I should take that stuff out too. So I guess, do you have the picture of the assembled model with me? Yeah. And yes. Yeah, so they like these instructions are really good. I'm pretty impressed with them. Other than the whole, you know, nothing is numbered correctly. And this is a cloak bit. This is a cloak bit. Yeah, that's part of the base. I saw it on there. I was just being silly. I knew it was supposed to go somewhere. This is a cloak bit and a rock. I think? Yeah. This is a dead solar auxilia guy with a cool skull. This is both a cloak bit and Horus's head. And of course, the camera's being funky. That's also... Golly, so much of this is cloak bits now. Okay. Yeah, this is a cool model. I like this model. A+. Good job, guys. You did a great job making a cool model. Okay. So, the first cloak bit I need is... this one. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick scrubby. Which I'm going to do off camera just because I don't want to keep splashing water on everything. Okay. And then I'm going to airbrush the water off. Goodbye, water. Airbrushes are cool. So this is the one I need, and this is the one that's going to get cut first. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's a little close. Come on. Goodbye. Oh, there's a thickums. Speaking of thickums, have you guys seen that hippo that's making its rounds on Twitter? Mudung. Because it became really popular just because it looked like it was panicking every time people did things to it. It was a little baby hippo. And it's very cute. So if you have an opportunity, I would just type in like Twitter hippo. And just enjoy looking at that poor, sad, scared... Well, he's not sad. He's actually having a great old time as far as I can tell. But it's very cute. Yeah, Moodeng. Mudung. It's very funny. The artist community has decided that it's a mascot that needs to be reinterpreted a lot. So if you have a chance, you should go look at the Screaming Hippo. Come on, baby. Yeah. Actually, yeah, this resin is really soft. It cuts real nice. Especially given that this blade is very dull. Okay, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen him yet, look at the Screaming Hippo. I think they've actually just found out that he's got a sister who is considerably more docile than him. But it's very cute. But yeah. I wish Forge World stuff, actually not just Forge World stuff, but like Warhammer stuff wasn't so expensive, because I would throw so much more money at them if it meant more bang for the buck. I can't justify spending as much money as I would need to purchase the entirety of a Forge World army or a Sons of Horus army for 30k. So I'm very excited to eventually start 3D printing troops for the Sons of Horus, because I'm not going to be putting anywhere near the level of detail that I'm putting on these guys on them. Though I feel like I've learned some pretty cool painting techniques so that they'll all still look really good, as is the plan. Actually, one moment. I'm gonna look up Mudung. One moment. Boop boop boop. Because right now Mudung is my spirit and a baby pygmy hippo. Okay, so okay. Oh, he's from Thailand. But yeah, he's always screaming, and it's very cute. Oh my gosh, they're I would love to buy more games and more armies, but I don't. If I don't, I will have no money for. If I do, I will have no money for any. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my thing. Not the story. Window capture. Are you it? Yep. That's like this picture is me right now trying to put together this model. I'm just screaming and panicking and having a good old time. So I don't want to imply that I'm not having fun. I'm having a lot of fun, but I am very much in panic mode as I try and shave off the bits and try and make this all fit and not drop the super sensitive things anymore. But yeah, he's kind of taken social media by storm recently. A delightful expression. Exactly. What's even better about that sentence is it sounds like it came from the narrator in Darkest Dungeon. Which is, honestly, another game that I probably should stream at some point, because Darkest Dungeon 1 is so good for so many reasons. If there was any video game franchise that started out as a video game franchise that I would love to see as, like, a one-season Netflix series or something, it would be Darkest Dungeon. I would love to see that game get adapted into an animated series. And actually, to be honest, the Warhammer Hammer and Bolter series would do a great job with that, because it basically looks like Hammer and Bolter anyway. Oh my goodness, why would you do this? This is a terrible angle. They put piece 36 at like the worst possible angle because I cannot see what that's supposed to be. But I guess since there's only 2 strips... Wait, no. What? What? Okay, this one has to be it because I think... What? Yeah, What? I'm having a hard time. I need an adult, guys. I think this one is supposed to be that over there. Come on, focus. 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 Am I too close? Am I too far? Focus. Okay. I think this one's supposed to be that one. And this one is supposed to be this one? I legitimately cannot tell. Because they're not the same. But... yeah, okay, this one's supposed to be this one. The fur pattern is lining up. But I don't need this one yet. I need this. Also, they molded the claws together, and then... Come on, focus. They molded the claws together, and then expect me to, like, shave them out. So wish me luck, fellows. First, let's scrub it down. Get any of the mold release agent off. I'll do the rock, too. That off. That off. Okay. But they legitimately expect me to use a razor knife to slice through the individual talon claws and try and make this look more serviceable, because look at that, it's just an oven mitt. So, wish me luck, guys. I hope I don't damage the model. God. Oh, this is awful. I hate this. I hope none of you have to do this. I hope none of you have had to do this. This feels terrible. Oh, that felt miserable. I don't like this. Guys, I'm scared. I'm scared. I feel like I did too much on that bear claw, too. That's probably not good. It's okay. One weak bear claw isn't going to kill the whole bear claw. But yeah, that felt awful. Especially because of my studio lighting. Everything is really washed out. Okay. Let's try and do the next one. Oh, goodness. No. I don't like this at all. Okay. I did a slice. And hopefully the slice will be okay. The things I do for art. I don't know. Am I supposed to do this? Any Forge World experts out there? Am I supposed to be individually shaving the webbing out from between these claws? Because I feel like I should be, but at the same time, it's just like, my god. This is such a tiny, tiny bit. I would think so. Oh god, this feels so bad. I'm doing my best, guys, and I gotta do this for another one. Another one. Okay. I mean, I get it. The resin's way too brittle to just make these individual with how they make them, but man, does that suck. Okay, I didn't get this one good enough. It's still got, like, a rounded tip. There we go. I think I got it. Okay. I think I got it. How's that look? It's an expert kit for a reason. Yeah, 15 years and up, right? I mean, that makes sense. The payoff for this is going to be great when I finish it and it looks amazing. But right now I'm just panicking because I have the mild anxiety. There we go. That's as good as that's going to look. I kind of want to take the other one off. Oh god, wait a minute. There's more? No, you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. I thought there were only 2. What part are you to? Are you the one I was supposed to use? I don't know. Wait, no, this one is the one that goes on the right side. I have no idea what 14 is to. Because I'm... Okay. Panic Frog. I'm amazed you didn't break anything on Fulgrim. I now have a new emote. That is absolutely fantastic. Oh my goodness. Okay. One moment. To answer your question, Arya, I'm gonna put it in there for you on the thing. Thank you for that DM. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, I now have a new emote, guys. That's gonna have to be one or something. That's gonna have to be my that's gonna be my "we'll be right back" picture. I think you've replaced the frog in the urinal, because that is me right now being absolutely panicking about everything. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and take the rest of these guys off. Make it clean. Frog hams, exactly. We don't need to see no frog hams. This is a Christian server here. Okay, what? What? Oh, it's an arm. Okay, so arm is gonna get it. Hands are gonna get it. This is like the sloppiest thing I've ever done, but you guys are all gonna get it. And then we're gonna go ahead and spray. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use the airbrush to get all of the moisture out of this. As much of the moisture as possible. We're gonna do the same thing on this lad. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. And yeah, I think I'm getting to the point where it probably is in my best interest. Why is the autofocus being so awful? Okay, give me a second. We're getting off autofocus. How's that? That's actually pretty good. I'm sticking with that. Okay. Christianity? In this ecclesiastic stream? Exactly. It's a lie. This is not a Christian stream. This stream is for the Emperor, and the False Emperor, and the Four-Armed Emperor. And I'm going to start hearing, like, banging on my door in a minute, because the Inquisition is about to break it down. I've said way too many different heretical things. Okay. 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 The panic is real. This is not towards my face. I have moved my face away from the incoming path of the debris. In case you're curious. I've learned enough from working construction and having to cut through very thick objects to not have it facing my face. Like, even right now, it's facing down, not at me. But yeah, I'm so happy this stuff fillets as well as it does. Okay. Okay, here we go. Back into the clouds. And actually, what's kind of blowing my mind is that, like I said, this is a very beaten up knife. You can even see it's missing most of its tip because I've regularly used it to pry things and I've just snapped the tip off. So the fact that it's cutting as well as it is really encouraging for anyone else who wants to do Forge World minis and needs a good razor knife, because this is not a good razor knife, and it's cutting pretty well, all things considered. Except for the part where I accidentally cut off too much of the claw. That's bad. Don't do that, guys. Do not cut off too much of the bear claw. Because then you'll end up with a very thin-looking bear claw, and it's going to be really weird-looking. Okay, let's see if I can get it a little bit further in there. Because that is not a chunk I want to leave in there if I can help it. Tap it off. There we go. That's gonna... Nope, that... I can do better. I can do better. Let me do better. I enjoy working with Forge World resin. The only reason I don't buy more is the price. That I'm impressed because most people I hear talk about Forge World resin absolutely hate it. So the fact that you found it to be very, you know, or you've gone really well with it is impressive. Good for you. I guess, like I said, my thing right now is just a total lack of familiarity with it because I've only ever done one model. But I'll be honest, this isn't terrible. This is not bad. I think my biggest mistake was doing this on stream where you guys were hoping to hear entertainment or at least casual conversation, and instead you're just getting me making high-pitched whining noises about being scared of ruining this expensive model. Yeah, yeah, slice and dice, slice and dice. There we go. And I honestly hope this doesn't put anyone off of doing Forge World resin, because this is an experience, and this is definitely helping me appreciate other Warhammer models. You want to get a Dark Angel Leviathan Dread before you regret never getting it. That is true. I hate the fact that, I understand why, but I hate the fact that some of that stuff is getting replaced and squatted, essentially. Like, I'm still kicking myself for never buying the Imperial Fists Contemptor Dreadnought, because the Imperial Fists have been my boys for so long, and it feels bad that I'm never going to be able to get, like, the super special chapter-specific Contemptor, and now all I've got is that chest piece. Which, the chest piece is fine, but having, like, the limbs be ultra-specific would have been really nice. So at the same time, I think part of the gamble by Games Workshop was legitimately that the people who are getting into Horus Heresy are already pretty big into kit bashing. So, like, if they really want to do something like that, they'll do it, and giving them a more blank template will encourage them to do so. Though I also feel like that's not true. But I don't know. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm curious now. What did the Dark Angels Contemptor Dreadnought look like? Let's find out. Also, I'm saving this frog. Panic Frog is the best frog.
Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle function.
And Dark Angels Forge World Contemptor Dread. I don't want the upgrade set. I want to look at the original model. I think this is it. Oh, it's from Dark Mini, or it's from a pirate, or not a pirating site, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, dude, those look so good. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Forge World used to have very chapter-specific Contemptor Dreadnoughts with, like, specific shoulders, specific limbs, or knees at least, and legs. And they got rid of that in favor of just having a specific torso and leaving, like, the shoulders and the legs to be part of the standard kit. and they used to have a whole lot more to them than they do now. Like the Emperor's Children is probably my favorite example, because the Emperor's Children Contemptor Dread looks really good, and the new one looks, I mean, it's got the same torso, but it just looks less interesting because it's missing some of the other cool aspects. So, whoa, that's a very tiny picture. Give me a bigger picture, please. I'm gonna pull them up in a second. I'm working on it. Oh, ew, that's a lame ass picture. Okay, so first of all, for those who haven't seen it, here is the Dark Angels Horus Heresy Contemptor Dread. And you see, like, his knees are special, his hip joints are special, his legs are special, his arms are special, and that's really cool. That's fantastic. Yeah, and then if you look at this one, this is the Emperor's Children Contemptor Dread, and it has the chapter-specific torso, but everything else is just part of the base kit, which is fine. It looks okay. There's not anything super wrong with it. But when you compare it to the original, just look at how much more character and personality that has, because it has chapter-specific knees and legs and shoulder, right? The guns are the guns, and they're going to be what they are. But the fact that we don't have that anymore is really sad, and it just makes me really happy I got my Ancient Rylanor before they stopped doing that. Okay, so going back to this, I think this one is done. Yeah, those studded shoulders look great, right? Okay, I'm probably going to have to clean this up off stream when I don't have all of the studio lights kind of washing everything out. But I need them that bright specifically for like detail work. Oh, I already got you. This is the next one. I think, yeah, this is the next one. It's still got all the posts and crap on it. So, yeah, the Forge World Emperor's Children specific Contemptor Dreadnought looks fantastic. And like I said, especially if you like the story of Ancient Rylanor, because of just how meme-worthy that story is, it's perfect for that, because it literally is supposed to be Ancient Rylanor, I'm pretty sure. Though I did find out that apparently he has rules in 40k or in 30k, and he's also really not that good. Okay, nope. That's too far. Okay, sorry, I'm messing with the focus because the claw is not supposed to be in focus. My hands are supposed to be in focus. There we go. That's a little better. I think putting the claw down there has messed with the camera's ability to read my fingers. Okay, that post is still too thick, so I'm gonna almost slice my finger off. There we go. Take that off. That's a shame for such a legendary character. Yeah, no, I heard someone mention that Rylanor has stats in 30k and that he's not very good. And I mean, I get it. He's legendary because he had an amazing short story kind of dedicated to him. And the short story involves him flipping the finger at Demon Primarch Fulgrim and then blowing himself up in spite. But, yeah, I kind of get it. I wish it were not the case, but I kind of get it. I hate the fact that the String Storm guy who wrote that really cool song about him basically had to go away because he tried to get in front of the allegations of grooming that were coming out about him by basically admitting that, yes, this happened, yes, this is a problem, yes, I was at fault. And, like, I hate the fact that that kind of tainted that song, because it was a really cool song, as was many of the other things he did. But it's just like, don't be awful. And I mean, I get it. Not everyone is in perfect mental health, and not everyone has the counseling and the support they need, but don't be awful. If you haven't heard, Springstorm was a composer of Warhammer-themed music who did things like he helped out with If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device. I think he wrote the original theme, like the original ending credits. And he also did a bunch of other Warhammer-themed music, including a heavy metal rendition of The Ancient Awaits, which is the Ancient Rylanor song. And it was pretty well done. It's really neat, but during a part of the Me Too movement, he came out and straight up stated that, yeah, I shared inappropriate texts with a minor, and I was in a bad place, and this was awful, and I shouldn't have done it, and I'm gonna go seek help, and I'm not doing music anymore, because I clearly shouldn't be platformed when I have this big problem and this big character flaw. So, I think I cut that way too thin. So I'm going to stop and no longer make money off of this and return any money that, it was a whole thing. And like I said, he tried to do the right thing, I guess, and his victim eventually came out and was like, no, he's being serious. He actually is doing these things that he's saying he's doing, and whatnot. But still, it's just like, wow, that really taints that really cool song. Except for the people who don't think it taints the song. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, that claw I cut way too thin. And now I've just kind of got to deal with it. But that's okay, I guess. Not everything can be perfect. Okay. Honestly, with the string storm thing, I'm just happy that he's finally getting help. I hope that he wasn't lying. Yeah, that was cut way too thin, but it's just gonna have to work. Okay. Ugh. And I think the next thing is... the heck are... Whoa. Oh, those are antenna! I think? These are like antenna that are attached with little pipes that need to be removed. I think this is the next piece. Yeah, this needs to go here. And a thing and another thing are going to go on it. And another thing are going to go on it. So I think I'm going to focus on the one thing. And I guess put one of these guys... Is this the one that goes on it? Oh, this is... I didn't do the post on this one. But I think... this is going to go in... Where the frickle frack does this thing go? This angle is upsetting and I don't like it. Okay, well, I'm going to take the posts off because I'm getting confused. He's making an effort. Clay's making an effort. There are so many who won't. Exactly. And that's kind of the silver lining of the story, is that he could have doubled down. He could have continued to be worse. He could have Dr. disrespected himself. But instead, he fessed up to it and is now seeking help. Right? And for those who don't know about the Dr. Disrespect situation, I'm sorry for bringing that in. I'm not a drama YouTuber or Twitch streamer or whatever. But, grooming bad. Don't do that. Okay. I'm gonna shave that down, and hopefully... And this is where this gets really weird for me, because it's like, even the smallest discrepancy can change a fitting. So, let's hope this works. So this goes... Where does this go? Do you go in here? No? Do you go in here? Doesn't look like it. I legitimately have no clue where this goes. I'm gonna look at some of these other ones. Do you go in here? Oh, that fits perfectly. Maybe that one goes in there. Does that one look like it goes in there? Because it looks like it goes in there. I'm gonna make a gamble, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that one goes in there, because it, like, slotted in pretty nicely. So we're gonna assume that the answer is yes. There we go. And then when I find out it's not, I'm just gonna cry for an hour, and then slowly try and remove it from the slot that it allegedly goes in perfectly in. We're just gonna hold on to that right there for a minute, and hope that it stays. Oh, okay. No, that's gotta go in there. That fits, like, perfectly. Okay, so you're gonna go off to the side, and now I'm just gonna have a panic attack about this one. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, we're just gonna do that, and we're just gonna do that, and there we go. And then we're gonna take you, and we're just gonna... Yep. Off. Get off. Get off. Agua. Agua off. Okay, I think that's good enough. Good evening. Oh, cast? Actually, it's not fine cast. It does bear a resemblance, but this is Forge World Resin. This is Horus Ascended. Good evening, Montrevon. How's it going? Good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while because our time zones have been not really meshing up too well. This is Horus Ascended, which was a model that came out like 2 years ago. So this is the lad that I am trying to put together right now. I'm definitely going to be doing it in parts and in sub-assemblies because he's just too nice a model to not go completely all out on, you know what I mean? So here's hoping that I'm able to do Horus Ascended justice, which shouldn't be too bad because if he ends up being anywhere near as good as that Abaddon that I did, that Abad one, the Abaddon, Yabba-dabba-doo-on. Uh-oh, the camera went. I was on holiday for 2 weeks on the North Sea. The internet was not existing. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you were sending all those really nice pictures of the coast that made me super jealous because you were just in a lovely part of Europe, and I've never been, so it was just like out of a picture book. It was beautiful. I hope that you had a great time and ate a lot of good food and drank a lot of good whatever you enjoy drinking and just had an overall relaxing time. While you were out there, I was getting orientated into my new job working as technical support for the city that I live in. And I haven't talked about it much on stream because I typically forget to talk about work like that. But so far, I've really enjoyed the job, and I've had a whole lot of support from everyone who works there. And it feels like they don't want me to fail, and they know that I don't want me to fail. So they're doing everything they can to try and make my first few weeks as smooth as possible and as supported as possible. And it's like, oh, what a lovely community. And while yes, I feel like that has part to do with it, it's also kind of the rising tide lifts all boats thing. I was specifically hired to help out and take some of the workload off of them. And if I can't do that, then I'm just making them have more work. So, or if I can't do it well. So they're kind of covering their own butts by training me well so that I can do well. And yeah, so the job is going pretty good. I'm doing pretty okay there. My biggest thing about it right now is that I'm clearly still unfamiliar with a lot of the intake systems and the troubleshooting, but that'll all change as I get more familiar. And yeah, Arya, I don't know if you know, but I'm still working at Best Buy with Geek Squad on the weekends, but I did get hired by the city to be part of their tech support. And according to them, I just interviewed really well, which I'm going to take as a compliment. But the biggest part about it is that I'm starting to make close to teacher salary again. So, and between my wife working and holding on to her job for a while, and me working and having the other job with Best Buy, we're now making more money than I've ever made. So we're in a really good place economically for the first time since we've been married. Okay, so the next, okay, this goes like this, and then this one goes right here. It will be once I start getting paid because, to be completely honest, I was in a position where if I didn't, it's like a puzzle piece. If I didn't get this job when I got it, I wouldn't have been able to pay my mortgage this month. And, unfortunately, I thought I was going to be paid at the end of this week, and or next week or whatever, and it turns out I'm not getting paid till like the 25th. So things are going to be a wee tight for me, but that's going to be okay because we're basically just going to make it by the skin of our teeth. Okay, there it goes. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle piece. And that means the other one goes on the back somewhere, but I don't know where because it's not very clear. You go right here? Huh? I feel like a kid trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, except the Rubik's Cube only has one row of colors and I'm still not getting it. Are you another? Oh, that's why. You're another pipe. Let's put on here to keep a gap open. So we're gonna shave you off. listing to the left, and I apologize because I know that's kind of getting out of the way. Though admittedly, I'm pretty sure you guys aren't here right now to watch a very detailed breakdown of how to put this guy together. I have no clue how this is supposed to go on. I think it's like this. I think it's like this. Gotta stop with all that avocado toast and coffee. My wife makes that joke a lot. No, what I gotta stop doing is buying all the Warhammer. Which is actually pretty funny, because I did. I stopped buying all the Warhammer. The first Warhammer I bought in a while was actually Scaventide to celebrate getting the new job. So, all my Warhammer now is coming from, like, payments for commissions and whatnot. I think this goes like this. I'm gonna hold on to this, like that. I'm gonna hold on to it and hope that it sticks, guys. And I mean, honestly, if it doesn't, I'll just pull it off and then I'll redo it once I fit everything else on. Oh, that looks awful. There we go. There we go. That's how it's supposed to go. I did it, guys. I did it. We're good. We're good. I figured it out. No, I didn't. It's not sticking. It's not sticking. Oh, God. I broke it. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I figured it out, guys. I figured it out. I think I figured it out. That feels awful. I'm going to put more glue on it and then just hold it there for it to dry. And we'll work on that. We'll do that, okay? We're just going to add more glue. The answer is always more glue. And eventually resin, because I'm going to fill this with resin to fill in the gaps. Okay, wait. Maybe. This looks better. Panic is real. I mean, like I said, this was an expensive model, and it's a really beautiful one, so I want to do right by it. And unfortunately, they gave me caveman instructions for it, so I'm going to do the best that I can, and we're going to hope. The answer is always 42. That is what it feels like. It's going to be 42 attempts before I get this, and 42 is going to be the right answer. But this feels right. Like, it feels like it's in the right place. I just need to actually let it sit. Going to engage it with that moisture and that oxygen. There we go. Okay, it's semi-solidly in there. Now I'm going to set it down very gently back there, and I'm going to pull out the wolf skull that's supposed to go on there. If I can find... There's the wolf skull. So this head is the next thing that goes on there. So we're going to do that. Now, like I said, I'm not actually going to glue all this together before the end of the day. Just kind of the big chunks, and then I'm going to do each piece as like a sub-assembly paint job, because I feel like every part of this model deserves to have some real dedicated time put into it. And I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I stumbled into one of his streams via a raid, and it turned out he was working on Horus Ascended for Golden Demon. And I think he won second place, and he was beat out by a heavily kit-bashed and beautifully made Perturabo Demon Primarch. But yeah, his Horus Ascended is what my painting aspires to be. It was absolutely beautiful. And so my hope is that I can kind of do this justice. When were you printed? Okay, so according to this thing, I don't know if it'll show up too well because of the autofocus, but it looks like it was molded in 2023, which means that the guy who inspected it... Wait, what? Wait, what? The math ain't mathin', guys. And of course, one of you is going to explain this to me. This was quality checked on August 2022, and this was copyrighted and printed in 2023. I figure that the copyright is different from when they actually inspected the model, but I don't know. Perturabo finally won some... Hey, he technically won the Iron Cage. And as an Imperial Fist fan, I think I need to go drink bleach for stating that, because he did not win the Iron Cage. He helped Rogel Dorn do what Rogel Dorn wanted. But he technically won the Iron Cage? I'd actually like to hear an older head tell me about that, because I know what the Iron Cage is. I heard about it, I've seen it, but like I've only ever heard secondhand explanations on it. So all I know is that Rogaldorn wanted to prove to his sons they deserved to be punished for Terra or something, and he knew that Perturabo was building this impenetrable fortress, so he went on a suicide mission to try to take the Iron Cage under the guise of bringing Perturabo back. And they got their ass beat, and then the Ultramarines showed up and saved them. And Perturabo kind of declared victory and kind of didn't. I don't know. But again, this is all like the Cliffs Notes version that I've heard online. I have no idea what actually happened with the Iron Cage. I do know that people still argue about it today, which I guess is the point. Kind of like who won their fight, Angron or Leman Russ. And that's kind of the fun of it, because depending on your philosophy, you can justifiably claim either side won. Which, again, is the point. But I don't know. I guess so. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so Wolfhead slots perfectly in there. Heck yeah. Whether Magnus did or didn't do anything wrong. That's also another one. I think with one of the last Siege of Terra books, though, Vulcan kind of gave forth his ideology on it, in his opinion, and he shut down Magnus pretty bad. Like, he was straight up, you did everything wrong. You made every bad decision you could have made. Though, I will still contend, as a Not Thousand Sons fan, that the reason Magnus made a lot of those decisions was because of how he had believed, you know, his father would react to the different things he did. So, I don't know. Okay, that's actually fitting in there lovely. He did have other options. That's also true. And see, again, that's part of the reason why I love the 40k. And, oh no, his head fell off. And the 30k is that there's room for oh, that's why, because I was putting it on wrong. There's room for argument, right? Because, yes, Magnus did have other options, but with the way that he had been treated by the Emperor and everything, and what he had done, and the messages he was getting, it's like, did he really? Did he know about these other options? I don't know. Okay. Oh gosh, the dangly bit. I gotta put the dangly bit on now. Let's put on the dangly bit. And let's never say that out loud again. I don't think I want to talk about, chat putting on their dangly bits. Okay, let's go ahead and spray that. I think what I need to do with the Panic Frog picture is make a console command so it just pops up whenever I'm having a panic or whenever I say something stupid. Because that would be funny. Just make it like an emote command for you guys to play with. And I'll have to learn how to do that. Okay, so let's see what we got here. What time is it? Oh, it's... Geez Louise, I have spent a lot of time putting this guy together and getting somewhere, question mark? I guess, though, I am doing the fiddly bits, and once I finish with the fiddly bits, this will all get much easier. Like, once it starts getting into the bigger bits, then I won't be so finagly and all over the place. Okay, we're gonna snip there. We're gonna snip there. Save that down. The level of detail on these models is so cool. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, they just got his head wrapped up. Okay. I don't know. If you guys could afford any Games Workshop model right now, what would you if like you were just given a coupon, you won a sweepstakes or a whatever, and Games Workshop was just like, here's a coupon to any shop or any model on our store. It doesn't matter if it's Forge World, it doesn't matter if it's resin, it exists on our store. Past, present, or future. A Thunderhawk, that's a super good choice. Thunderhawks are so cool. Thunderhawks are so very cool. I'd love a Thunderhawk. Do you slot in here, and where do you slot in? I'm looking at the instructions and they're not being super helpful. Oh no. You slot in underneath. And you don't slot in anywhere else. What the fudge. Oh no. I don't know where this thing goes. It goes in here. The anything a thunder. I want one of the older boxy ones that's no longer being sold. You mean the one in the metal box that's made, or the wooden box that's made out of metal? That is absolutely a peak decision, because that is one of the coolest models Games Workshop has ever produced. An Eldar Phantom Titan. No, not the metal one. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were talking about the metal one. And in that case, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I bet it's good. Okay. That blowing on it thing is really helping. Okay, so this is supposed to feed back in. Oh, it's supposed to feed into the other part that I haven't attached yet. The one that came before the current Thunderhawk model. If you can find a picture of it, I'd love to see it, because I honestly don't know what you're talking about. Am I putting this on? Oh, okay. Oh no, I'm stuck. Okay, that's how that's supposed to go. And there's a little hole in this one where that's supposed to go. If I could ever get one, I would be getting an airbrush, because to heck with trying to paint that purely with brushes. That is true. And I think I might have mentioned it before, but if I can recommend you an airbrush, a Badger Patriot is a great place to start, because it's a workhorse. It's really durable and easy to clean. And honestly, the only complaint I have with it is that it's not super great at dealing with ultrafine details. But even with that being the case, it's not bad at dealing with ultrafine details. The secondary market for the Badger airbrush is really good. And so, like, you can get very small nozzles for precision painting. And that's actually what I did for... nuts. I should have put that in there first. That's actually what I did for Abaddon when I painted him. I used a 0.2 nozzle, 0.02 nozzle. There we go, it's on. To paint Abaddon's cloak shadow. I know I've shown this off a lot, but I just want to bring this back up as an example. Because I enjoy helping people with painting advice. Let's see. Because I did a lot with this. Give me a second. I'm going to get rid of some things, and then we're going to talk about good airbrushing stuff. Sure. Not Google Chrome. Not that. Abaddon. Okay, there we go. I did a lot of airbrushing with this Abaddon in like subtle places. So like the claw and the shadows for the claw were done with airbrush. And I went paler with the airbrush, and then eventually I started dry brushing, which is how I got those lights. After just kind of painting in very sloppily the red around his head, I then went back in with an airbrush to create more of it. And kind of the same on the metal behind the torch. That's also airbrushed. And all of the dark purple shadow in the leather is also airbrushed. I used one for that. And let's see, you can definitely see it here, where it created some really smooth blends off of a very rough leather texture. All of that purple and all of that darker color is airbrushed in. So all I can do is strongly recommend getting a Badger Patriot and then getting one of their, gosh, extra small needles, I think it is. And that way you're covered for base coating and for the other part that isn't base coating, because my brain just potatoed. Detail. New one on the left, old one on the right. Let's see, let's go. Oh my god. Why is the old one so much better? That old one is super good. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. I want this. Yes, that's actually what I want. So, the new one is the red one, right? That's the one that they sell now. And the old one is the Ultramarine one, which is what they don't sell anymore. I mean, they're both pretty good, but the old one looks really good. I like the old one a lot. Super freaking cool. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I can definitely understand why that's like in your target list of this is what I want. Is this the bit that I want? I think that's the bit I want. Okay, I'm gonna do that one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and scrubby these guys. I was mad that the new one is the one for Legionis Imperialis. I see it as a Primaris Thunderhawk. Yeah. I actually just spent a long time yesterday complaining about the Primaris line. And it's not something I want to spend too much time with now, but I still feel like it was an unnecessary upgrade. That was kind of... They could have... I want true scale, dude. I want true scale Mark 7 stuff. I want true scale Dreadnoughts. I want true scale everything. I wanted the true scale. I understand why they did not go with the true scale, but I wanted the true scale. Okay. Snippy snippy. He snip! And he snip! There we go. Next thing apparently is the mace. So it looks like... Oh my gosh, what is the mace? It's not World Breaker, is it? I'm mixing my Magic the Gathering names with my Warham's names, and I want to say that the name of the mace is World Breaker. But that also sounds like the name of the sword in Magic that destroys everything when you attack with it. That was lucky. That was also lucky. The bits that flew off landed in my little tray. This one's pretty good, so it's going to be down to just kind of shaving it. But yeah, I don't know why I expected to get far enough with Horus to do Skaven. Because clearly that's not happening. Mommy Dova, one of the other regulars here, is very interested in going into Age of Sigmar, and they're kind of chomping at the bit to play me because they know I've got Skaven set up. But my Skaven are nowhere near done, and so my plan today was, or my plan is soon, is to go ahead and build the clan rats and speed paint them on camera. So that we have, you know, a good solid chunk of video dedicated to how slap chop technique works, and still making fairly good models using some pretty baseline troops. So hopefully, that'll probably be my big thing next week, is working on speed painting the Skaventide clan rats. And then my next goal is going to be to buy 40 more of them, so I have like 60 clan rats, and just have a horrifically large troop-led Skaven army, because I feel like all of the models are super cool, but especially with something like Skaven, they lose a little bit of their touch when you aren't completely surrounded by a mass of rats. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm gonna keep clearing these out until it's smooth. I wonder if Games Workshop is ever going to go Rat Jam, exactly. And I don't think I have the emotes set up for that. I don't have any emotes set up. At some point, I told my wife that I'm going to commission her to do like emotes, and they're going to be great because Dark Volt, you've kind of streamlined and refined her original concept for my Vipo. My PNG tuber Vipo dude. So I'm probably going to ask her to keep emulating your style. Either that or I'm just going to pay you to do it, because I like your art style a lot. You helped make Frog Boy a whole lot cuter and much more like visually pleasing. So I'm probably just going to be like, hey, if I throw this much money at you, or however much money you need for doing these, would you do these for me? Especially now that I'm going to be in a much better economic situation. So that will eventually happen. Be prepared for that to happen within the coming months. That I'm going to request to commission you to do things for me with the VPO stuff. Yep, very cool, very cool. I'm glad that we have a verbal tentative agreement, which means you and I right now are a step behind Amazon and Games Workshop. Speaking of, oh yeah, I was also going to play Space Marine on stream. I don't have enough streaming hours in the day to do the things I want to do, because I do want to play Space Marine 2 on stream. I got to play Space Marine 1 on stream with some friends. Do we need to get Cavill involved? I wish. I can let Cavill know that his Custodes absolutely starched me last night in 40k. because the Imperial Fists, as I played them, are not good against the Custodes, and they just got their ass beat. It was like they were having flashbacks to the Siege of Terra all over again. Okay, so I think this is the... Yeah, this looks like it's the correct arm. So this is going to go in like so. Yep. Wow, that just links right in there. I saw the VOD. I missed Space Marine 1. It is still a really good game. I hate the fact that they re-released it as Anniversary Edition, and it's back up to $60 because I first got it for like $8. I'm also really proud of my terrible MS Paint avatars for my friends, because I made those in about 2 minutes each. Just drawing the worst MS Paint versions of them I could. But yeah, I'm going to be playing some Space Marine 2 with them once they all get the game. I'm the only one who was fanatic enough to reserve it. And I'm happy I did, but I also haven't had a whole lot of time to play it. You got it when it launched? I mean, that's wild to me. I pirated it when it launched, and I remember not getting 40k when I did. Like, I pirated it. The MS Paint drawings were cute. Thank you. That is about the level of my artistic style outside of mini painting. I remember very clearly, like, not getting 40k when Space Marine and Dawn of War came out, because I played both of them, and I remember thinking that Warhammer Dawn of War was just like, this is a lame version of StarCraft, because it felt like a much more combat oriented but less strategic version of StarCraft. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and put like a paperclip in here. And it was because, like, the first version of Grimdark Future that I was exposed to was StarCraft. I played StarCraft when I was in middle school, and so that was kind of my basis of understanding for sci-fi warfare. And so when I played Dawn of War, and I saw just how dopey and I hate to say simplified, but it really felt like the Space Marine design was a simpler version of the StarCraft design, because I was unaware of the context. And I remember just thinking everything looks like a cartoonified version of StarCraft. You played StarCraft and Command & Conquer in the day? I tried Command & Conquer, but I did not have a big enough brain for Command & Conquer. I had Command & Conquer Red Alert, and I had Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, but I did not have the brain power to play either of those games well, because my whole thing was spamming the biggest, most powerful thing possible. And that's not how you play those games. But I remember playing Dawn of War and playing through a couple missions and being like, okay, this is cute, but it's not StarCraft and I don't care. So I gave up on it. And then I played Space Marine 2, or Space Marine, and all I could think of was like, this is just like a super dopey version of Gears of War. Because I believe that game came out in 2011? And I didn't appreciate it for what it was, which was an incredibly well-executed Space Marine action game. Command & Conquer's building the biggest base and then spamming the biggest tanks. Yeah, I tried that too, and I just wasn't good at it. I didn't resource build well enough, or defense... Like, Dorn would have been very disappointed in me, because I was not very good at base building at the time. But, yeah, so I played both those games when they came out, and I was just like, yeah, they're fine. And it wasn't until I got back into Warhammer that I replayed them and went, oh, now I get it. Still want to build the Dawn of War building for terrain. Someone sells it. I actually have the Dawn of War like HQ for Space Marines somewhere as an STL file, and it's huge and complicated. Those are both set as a positive. You don't have a printer. That's true, and that's fair. So what that means is that at some point, I've got to figure out how to get those models to you. Because that's the next step in that plan. Step 1 is print. Step 2 is send. Uh-oh. Are you gonna fit? Uh-oh. Like, that's my goal. That's how I want to do things, is, I'm not super worried about getting payment for it, because I want to be able to send people cool stuff. The overseas shipping to Germany, I understand. I don't care. I'm also going to be overseas shipping to Doig in India, and eventually to Kurzek, and eventually when I get back to it and I'm able to do the other models, I'm going to try and overseas ship that to like Martina and to Palbro fella when I get back to doing those moderator models. But right now is not the time. And I'm also going to ship them in like the nicest packaging I can muster. So it's not just going to be like in a cardboard box wrapped up in shrink wrap. I'm going to put them in freaking display cases. I want the people that I enjoy and I appreciate to have nice things, and you can't stop me. That's kind of where that's going. Okay, I think that might be deep enough. Okay, let's see. Like, this is actually, I don't want to call it a character flaw because that sounds very arrogant, but it's actually one of my biggest, like, personality issues, is, I enjoy, like, I get a lot of, I guess, is it serotonin? Is it endorphins? I don't remember, but, I get a lot of joy from knowing that the people that I like are happy. Or the people I know are happy. They don't even have to be people I like. They can be people I hate. But as long as they're trying to be good people and they're happy, then I'm happy. And that is pinned and that is not coming off. It is definitely a love language. If you do that for me, I'll figure out commission prices for an equivalent. I mean, that's fair too. Like, if it needs to be an exchange, then I'm okay with that. Oh boy, I'm starting to put together his body. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get to here with the body, and then like the arm is gonna be separate, the cape is gonna be separate. Oh my god, that's awesome! They even put it so that the shoulders are like their own thing. I guess no, I gotta put the cape on. Yeah, I think I can put the cape on. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. Okay. I think I want to do the claw and the mace separate, and everything else is gonna get attached to him. I think that's how this is gonna work. I think. Because, the way they've got him posed, there's more than enough space to actually get in there with the brush and paint everything else. You know what I mean? I might. Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go. I think that's how it's gonna go. So, I'm gonna close the book and forget where I was, and then I'm gonna open the book, and then I'm gonna find where I was, and then I'm gonna grab the parts and start doing things. Let's see here. That's cape. Oh, this is a freaking cool cape. This is a cool cape. I love Warhammer. I love the Hams of War. I should be working on Skaven right now, but I am instead working on Hams of War, and it's making me very happy. And soon I'll go back to working on Skaven, and that's going to make me happy. But right now, it's Hams of War. And you know what? Torso. Oh, you can't see that. Torso. And, arm. And stretching my leggy out really far. And then stretching my other leggy out really far, and moving the claw, because I don't want that to break. And then there's the butt of Horus. Horus butt, shoulder, Greeblies, and what the does he have a back banner? Oh no, the back banner's part of it's not a back banner, it's a terrain banner. Okay. I mean fair. Yeah, so this package is empty, and this is all part of his base, so that's gonna go elsewhere. Actually, I'm going to put this other piece of base in with the piece of base, and then I'm going to be sad because I didn't open the base piece yet, so I'm going to open the base package. What the heck is that to? I don't know what this is to. It's just kind of floating there, so I guess I'll figure it out in a minute. But right now, I'm going to try and consolidate stuff because my desk is becoming increasingly chaotic. I don't have enough room for all the things. The banner piece is going to go with the base. So all of the base pieces are now together. Hopefully, they're not going to get rattled around and broken. What is there anything left in here? You guys see anything? No, you don't see anything. Yeah, all I've got is that little resin shaving, but everything else is done. So that one's done. Heck yeah. And then, let's see. This one is done. This one's good. It's got some resin shavings in it, but it's good. Heck yeah. So those guys are done. Goodbye. Goodbye. You can go over here. And now I've got this little thing that I don't know what it goes to yet, so that's gonna go over there. It looks like he's got a little dangly, and then he's got another dangly, and then he's got a knife, and then he's got part of his base. God damn it! I just put the bases away. Where'd I put the bases? There are the bases. I think this is the right piece of base. Oh my god! This is a heavy piece of base. I could slap someone with this. But that's a piece of base. That's gonna go over here. I'm gonna go ahead and start scrubbing because these things need a gentle scrubbing. So I don't know what time it is for most of you, but it's 11:36 for me. I probably ought to do like Doig does and put a little clock over there just for my own edification. But I'm gonna have lunch soon. And because I've had to eat healthy all week, Horus, what you got there? A knife? No! Exactly. Horus has the anathema. Actually, Horus is probably like, Yugen, what do you have there? And then Yugen just vomits on the ground while he holds up a knife because he's a plague demon at this point. You know, I kind of wonder, especially with how verbose Dan Abnett got with the last couple of books, if someone gave Dan Abnett 5:30 p.m., well, I'm glad that your day is almost ending. I hope it's been a good one. If someone gave Dan Abnett carte blanche to, like, rewrite the original trilogy of Horus Rising and Dark Gods and, I forget what the last one's called. But you know what I mean, right? If someone gave him a chance to rewrite those, just how ridiculous he would go, because I have a feeling that Horus Rising itself would become a trilogy. Because The End of the Death was supposed to be one book, until he was just like, nah, I want more. I got more to write about this crazy world that I'm apparently in love with. And I mean, kudos to him, because I love the fact that Dan Abnett loves the 40k universe so much that he can just gush about it endlessly. And it's not just, you know, another job for him. But my goodness, can that man go on. And I also love that the way he writes the stories has such an inflated sense of importance to make everything important. Because that was the one complaint people had about The End and the Death, is there's so much ridiculousness happening in there, and it's about people and things that they don't care about, but that have been part of the story. And all of it matters more than anything else in the world, except for this other thing that matters more than anything else in the world. And I think that really sells just how overdramatic the Horus Heresy is. A bunch of, you know, regular baseline humans walking through a chaos-infested area. Hey, Snow Twig, how's it going? Good to see you. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good time zone. I have a very expensive, ouch, I just cut myself, a very expensive, very cool model that I got as part of a commission, and I'm putting him together and trying not to rush the process because I want to spend a lot of time on this model. I forget how much you remember. That's 40k. This is the most important thing in the universe, just like everything else in the universe. I love it. I love how overwhelming it is, because it means that you can just kind of choose what you like, and that'll be the most important thing for you. It's kind of like magic in that there's so much personalization that can go on. I just wish that the other factions got that same level of detail from authors who cared about them. Blood for the blood god. I know, right? I didn't cut myself bad. It was just a little nick, and I think by now it's all scarred over so much that it's just kind of like a, hey, you broke skin. There's no blood under here to play with, though. But yeah, Snow Twig, I don't know how much you know about the Horus Heresy, but I was paid a Horus Ascendant for doing a commission. And I'm really excited to paint this guy, because he's a I don't play Sons of Horus, but he's such a cool model. Does this go like so? I think this goes like so. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this up a little bit, try not to slash my hand open. And we're just going to do that. And then we're just going to do this. By the way, Snow Twig, I appreciate you dropping in. I know that, like, I definitely stream at weird hours for you. and you've definitely got your own thing going on, but I appreciate you stopping by to say hi every now and then. It's been nice seeing you pop by. Don't know a whole lot about the Horus heresy. Well, they made a model for Horus a long time ago, and now they've got this one. This one came out last year, and it's a Forge World model, so it's Forge World resin, which is much different than like Games Workshop plastic. But I'm in the process right now of assembling this guy, and I'm going to put all of my heart and soul into painting him, because I had a lot of fun painting his first captain, Abaddon, the Chaos Marine version of him. So now I'm going to do everything I can to make this one look good, because this is going to be my magnum opus until something else comes along that catches my eye. I do know that Mommy Dova was telling me that, especially with how crazy their rolls were last night, that they might have to get me the new Vermin Lord at some point, because I kept calling their rolls and they kept just being really good. Been fun watching me when you can. Thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, this is definitely... How does this go on the base? How do you go on the base? That's terrible and I hate it, but that's gonna work. Okay, this is gonna be fine. But yeah, I'm not really doing any painting today as much as I am just kind of hopefully getting this model set up so I can actually paint it. Oh, we've got one base done. There's another base in here too. It's a bigger base. It's going to go on top of the bigger base, and then there's going to be removable parts that I'm going to magnetize. Hey Red, how's it going? Good to see you. I was gifted a Horus Ascendant as part of a commission. And so, I'm right now kind of putting him together and cleaning off the resin and whatnot. And I'm going to paint the crap out of this when I get a chance to. But yes, I'm very excited to do so. So, I'm honestly surprised at how small his actual body is. But then I remember this is to scale for a miniature war game, so he's not going to be a massive guy. Currently working on 2 models. Very cool. What 2 models are you working on? What you got going on? Okay, so hopefully I've gotten all the release agent off of that, and now you're going to get sprayed. Oh, there's all that collection of moisture that I was just playing with. And I guess Horus's head is going to have to not go in there for a minute, which is fine, because unlike Abaddon's head, it's actually its own piece that I can just leave on the stick, or put a new stick on. I'm not sure yet. There we go. That's all clean and ready to go. Thanks. Yeah, so what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably go ahead and cut his head off of there, and then drill a hole into the bottom and pin him, so that way I can just, you know, be more active with that later. It's going to go like that. It's going to go like that. There we go. Gosh, their resin actually cuts really nice. That'll make the red hood glow so much easier. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm surprised I was able to get as good a glow as I did on Abaddon's, given that how his head fit in. I don't know if you've put together the Abaddon model before. You sent it in Discord. Let's check this out. Let's see what cool stuff. Ooh, I like those a lot. These are getting shown off. I love fantasy models. I need to start painting more like actual fantasy models. Those are good. Those are big. Those are big happy. Let's see. So what Red is working on is, look at this dwarven lad. Look at this dwarven lad. I love fantasy. I've been so stuck in the 40k that I kind of forget how much I love the fantasy. Sorry, that was terrible. But yeah, this is amazing, and this is one of 2. They're also working on this lovely Valkyrie lady. Look at that. These are such cool models. Also, nice paint desk. I appreciate that you've actually got like a paint rack. I have a makeup bag that I hold my my paint rack in. But yeah, see, this is the kind of stuff I need to print, and this is the kind of stuff I need to start painting. And, Ari, if you're still there, I didn't answer your question, because it looks like you've got some cool stuff in here. I have no idea how much this is going to cost, but if you want me to print them and send them to you, it'll probably be the cost of the STL, plus the cost of shipping, plus like $5 for the resin. Because, I'm not too worried about making money off of sending friends prints. Boom. Back to doing this. Okay. So that's what that. I'll write it down and I'll send it to you as a message. But that's most likely, if you can do that math in your head, that's what I would charge you to print and ship those models. Which is what I got 8 models to do before Christmas. Are you making these for friends? Are you painting models for friends? Because that's a really cool Christmas gift, especially if your friends are into miniatures and mini gaming. Very nice. I did that for my friends a couple winters ago because we were in this campaign that had gone on for I think 2 years at that point, and I'm pretty sure it was our longest running campaign. Oh no, there was a bubble. There was a bubble. I'll make it work. And so what I did was I asked them all to send me their characters in Hero Forge because I told them I was going to print them. And that was going to be it, because we couldn't play the game in person anymore because one of my friends that was part of the group had moved out of state. And so he lived like 13 hours away by car. How am I supposed to get this out? All of them are about 7 inches in height. That's what's up. That's something else I want to do. I want to start painting bigger models because I feel like when they're well made, there's a lot of fun you can have with painting them, especially when it comes to texturing. But what I ended up doing for them was I printed them off at tabletop size just so they could have, and I painted them to the best of my ability at the time, and then I printed them as big as I could, which was about 3.5 inches, and then I painted those so that they were basically identical. So they had like a desktop caddy of their mini, and then they had a playable version of their mini. And that was my Christmas gift to them, or my holiday gift to them. Again, I want to reiterate, this resin, as much as people want to give it crap, I guess they're more giving fine cast crap, but this resin is both very tough, it feels, or at least very hard, but it's also, it's filleting, it's shaving very, very smoothly. Like you saw, I just had a whole ton of this. Also got the Dwarfs Battalion, Malifaux, and Bushido. Very nice. See, again, there's like a million games I want to get into, and I just don't have the time. I'll be honest, I wish I had more commissions. Even if they're not things I personally enjoy too much, the fact that I'm painting, that I have a motivation to paint them, which in this case is monetary, gives me a lot of joy. And I kind of wish I had more of that going on again. What the Oh, okay. It's an animal. It's an animal, guys. I couldn't tell what this thing was, and all I saw was the back, and the back just looks kind of like a hair and then a shaft and then a big bulbous part, but that's supposed to be a body, a mane, and a leg, but it looked like a weenus. So I was a little bit confused as to why Horus had a weenus on his leg, and now I just feel stupid. But that's okay. Next piece is going to be, speaking of a weenus, it's going to be his crotch piece. I think people have the biggest issue with large Forge World casts because of the warping and broken pieces. That is true. Those tend to be pretty problematic. I just remember watching Squidmar do the Tau Manta and then the Forge World Titan, and watching Midwinter Minis do the Forge World Titan and all of the problems they had there. And yeah, there was a lot of warping going on. Okay. This part's good. And this part's good. We're just going to go ahead and knock off as much of that moisture as possible. And then I'm probably going to do the legs next and put those in place so that way I have a solid foundation to go off of. Like, I'm not going to glue them onto this because I really don't want to glue them onto the base yet. I was really impressed when Squidmar did their custom Warlord Chaos head. Yeah, that was friggin' wild. Squidmar's really good at what he does. And the staff that helps him are really good at what they do. And it always blows my mind when I get to see their work. I understand why, but I kind of wish his channel would go more back to doing like painting tutorials. But I think what happened was the main channel became more for doing cool projects. And he's got another channel whose name I forget, and that's where he's been focusing his painting tutorials, because he just released a video on how he does non-metallic metal, And it's like, this is the stuff I wish was on your main channel. But if it's not, you know, being a good primary source of income, given that he's got a full filming staff now and other people helping him, I definitely understand. Because the YouTube have changed a lot. And so they can't exactly continue trying to work with the same business model they had. Yeah, Squiddly Bits, thank you. They can't continue working with the same business model they had 5 years ago. Okay, now let's see if I can do this without breaking the blade or breaking my finger. Because again, it all just fillets really nice. YouTube do be doing the changing, I know. It still messes with me that, like, capitalism and the market has ruined streaming. They managed to mess it up and ruin it in less than 15 years. But yeah, okay. I'm just gonna do this. And see, look at that. Look at how well that shaved it down. And how much more I can do if I'm just gradual and patient. Because it does whittle down really nicely. This must be what, like, wood whittlers feel like, except better. And how they're able to get such intricate designs out of blocks of wood. One of my coworkers at Geek Squad, they're not super artistic. Like, their thing has primarily been, you know, playing video games and socializing with friends and just kind of enjoying life that way. Apparently they used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when they were younger, which was cool to find out. But they bought a wood carving set off of Amazon about a month ago, and they were both excited about it and kind of self-conscious to share it with the rest of their coworkers, because I don't know, when you think about art hobbies, unless you're in a friend group that is a bunch of artists, it feels like trying to share that hobby becomes a very difficult proposition because other people don't get it and they don't really know how to respond to it. At least that's been my experience. And so he seemed really hesitant to be like, hey, look, I got this thing. And I thought it was cool, because wood carving is cool. And I guess he just found a video on YouTube of someone doing wood carving and thought, that looks awesome, I want to do that too. And so I tried to be super encouraging about it. It was like, fuck yeah, dude. Congrats on finding a new hobby. I can't wait to see what your first carving's going to be. Whittling is fun. Personally, I prefer doing clay sculpting because I never really know what I want to make before I start. I can't see a model inside the material like stone and wood carvers can. That's super neat. I didn't realize that was actually a thing with that separated clay sculpting from wood and stone carving. But it makes sense, I guess, because it's fluid in your hands, and as you kind of manipulate it and go into that play mode, you kind of see it forming, and then your brain can go like, oh, I like where this is going. I'm going to do this to it. And you can always just kind of keep messing with it until it gets into that form that you like, whereas you can't really do that with stone and wood. But yeah, so he was, I told him, you know, I'm going to be excited to see your first piece. And he was like, I don't know, man, I'm not an artist, I'm not artistically inclined. And I had to be like, well, first of all, everyone's bad before they're good, and second of all, neither was I when I started mini painting. And he kind of paused and went, oh, yeah. And I think that's the thing that people miss out on with anything that requires hard work. And I think, was it Adventure Time? Jake kind of said it best, being bad at something is the first step to being good at something. And it's such a weird statement to make, but it's so dang true, right, guys? Because you have to learn how to do it right by being bad at it first. Oh, this just fits right in. I thought there was going to be some wiggle room where I was going to have a problem with, like, getting it to work right, but no, that's just solid. Should I continue pinning these heftier parts so that there's less wiggle room there? I think I'm gonna. Being bad is entry level. Just before that is never doing it in the first place. Exactly. I think I was starting to say, and then I got sidetracked. What I wanted to do, like, model painting and miniature painting from a very young age, because I was enamored with the idea of Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer, but there was never just any port of entry for me, and it was just so intimidating. And unfortunately, the people who ran the Games Workshop in the mall that I lived nearby weren't exactly welcoming. And so I bought a Robotech model, and I painted it using, I think, enamel paints. Which, if you've ever used enamel paints, you know is not a great idea. And it looks really bad, and it looked really bad, and I remember looking at it and thinking, this is awful. Maybe this hobby just isn't for me. And I didn't pick it up again until I was in my 20s, and my buddy Soft Servo was like, you should do mini painting. I think you'd really like it. And then he got me into Warhammer, and my life has never been the same. People see my painting today and are like, oh my god, you're so good at this, I could never do that. Then I remind them that I didn't start off this way and even show some of my first pieces. Exactly, yeah. That's my point exactly, right? Is no one ever starts off as a prodigy like that. Everyone has a rough phase where they're learning, and they're okay at it, and then they become good at it. And it takes practice, and we kind of skip over that a lot. And so I think it's cool that you still have pieces like that to show people. Also have loads of room for improvement too. Of course, keep your old models, save your progress. So fun fact, I didn't. I don't have any of my old models. I've either thrown them away or sold them. The closest I have to an old model... Actually, I take that back. I have the first ever mini I painted was an angel lady from Reaper Bones. And I still have her, I think, but I painted over her a little bit to try and improve her. The only other thing that I had was an intercessor that I painted over because I wanted to. But the good news is that I was smart enough to save him. So my first ever mini, and I think I've shown this off on stream before, my first ever mini was an intercessor from the First Strike starter box for 8th edition. And I took a picture of him just kind of as a memento. And I've painted over him a lot, but I posted it on Facebook. And ever since then, every year it pops back up to remind me how much I've improved. And apparently this picture was taken on October 21st of 2018. So this right there, that's my first ever model. That's my first ever Warhammer model. I had painted like 4 or 5 D&D models before that, but that was my first ever Warhammer model. This was October of 2014, so almost 6 years ago, which actually hurts to think about because it doesn't feel like I've been doing this for 6 years. But yeah, so I mean, you can see that there's there are definitely rooms for improvement there, and it could be better, because then you get to like a moment. Let me find a good picture of it, because 2016, that was 8 years ago. Oh my god! You're right, my math is way off. My math is way off. It was 8 years ago. I've been doing this for a while. I mean, admittedly, I didn't continue painting straight from that. I painted him and then kind of put him away for a long time. But you're right, that was 8 years ago. Holy crap! Okay. Thanks for the heads up. Thank you for correcting my math. Alright, you said, meanwhile, I've been in the hobby since 01 and nowhere near your level. Yeah, but I mean, you also haven't been obsessively doing it like I have for the past 8 years. 8 years, oh my god, 8 years. Yeah, one moment. Let me do some math here. Because that's the only photo I have from 2018. 2021 is when I first started getting glamour shots of my stuff. This is just 2020. You don't help me. Oh, it looks like this was October of 2021. And I'm pretty sure 2020 is when I really started, like, painting. I could be wrong, so, yeah, 2020 is about when I really first started. But yeah, like, I've been, yeah, to be fair, you also had a 6-year hiatus. Exactly. So, there's a lot of that going on with it, too. But yeah, I went from that to, no, not, like, this is the Gilliman I painted for the commission piece. And what's wild to me, and I think you guys will appreciate, when I came back my skills accelerated, but now you're on a plateau, this would be the time for you to start trying new techniques, is what I feel. Like, when I feel like I'm plateauing, that's when I'm like, okay, I want to learn how to do things. So, try and do new things. Whether it's learning how to do, like, non-metallic metal, or volumetric lighting, or, what do you call those? Volume exercises? No, I forget what they're called. They're the ones where you try and do it in black and white, and you try and get the proper shading on them. But yeah, that's the Gilliman that I did as part of a commission. And I think my favorite thing about this is how stupid easy that blade was, because it looks great, but all that is white paint, and then yellow contrast, and then Averland Sunset just over the entire thing, and then dry brushing. That's it. That's all I did to them, and it looks like that. So it's about, you know, getting comfortable with learning the goofy techniques. Anyway, let's get back to doing things, because legs need to be put on this lad. This lad needs legs. And yeah, time is always running. It feels weird to think about that. It feels weird knowing that I've known my wife for 6 years now. Okay, leg. 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 Speaking of, she's at a convention, and I'm hoping it's going to be a good one, because it's like a small publishers convention, and she's really anxious because she knows a lot of people from this convention. Like, she's followed them on web comics and the like, and she's really anxious to do well here, because unfortunately the market has not been great, and the past couple of cons that she's gone to have not done too well. So I'm hoping and praying she has a good time. I'm hoping and praying she sells a lot of her graphic novel. I started dating my wife in 1999. Wow. I was in middle school. Yeah. I didn't realize you were that much older than me, Montrevon. Or did you just start dating them very young? When you both were very young? I don't know. I don't know these things. But yeah, I met my wife after 2 bad relationships. And I resolved to not let those relationships go the same way. This one. So it's been better, and we've been good. I was a senior year of high school. I graduated high school in 2005. And then college happened. There we go. There we go. And actually, since this is a bottom piece, I can afford to be less precious with these bits, because no one's going to see that stuff. This is a picture I took in 2010 of my first models from 2008. At that point, I got very comfortable with how I do my Marines, and I had done the bulk of my lads. The oldest one is on the left. Oh boy, look at them Dark Angels! Look at those cool dudes. One moment, let me put them up here. First mini. That's my first mini. Okay. I was married in 05. You're showing your age. Yeah, I am. Very much so. So the oldest one is on the left. If I can move this over here. There's the oldest one. And yeah, you can kind of see like the evolution of your painting and like how much sharper you got. Yeah, those look great. I miss the old. I really miss the old size paint. They're so. Yeah, no, I know I'm relatively young in a lot of ways, but it's been kind of funny. The red paint got better. That is true too. Was red paint really bad way back when? Uh-oh, what's going on here? Oh, you just... Okay. Because I have heard tell of, like, red paint being bloody awful. And I have yet to really experience that, so I'm not sure what the experience was like with red paint before I got into the hobby. Very non-covering. Was it just really thin? Like, thinly pigmented like white and orange are? Because orange is the one that I've had the most trouble with. Like, I have yellows that cover really well. I have white, 2 white that cover very well. And I have reds that cover well, but orange has been the bane of my existence. It just looks terrible and grainy and awful. But to be honest, I've only used 2 oranges. I've used Jokero orange, which doesn't cover great at all, and is kind of a dull orange. I don't really like it much. My red layers got very thick to get the cover I wanted. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's weird knowing that we're in kind of a golden age of paint right now for mini painting, because the hobby has grown so much that they can afford to do the research and afford the higher quality materials and the denser pigments for better painting. And I think that that's super neat. Okay, so heal good. I just realized Horus got tiny feetsies. Look at Horus's tiny feet. They're tiny. Why you love using red contrast and doing a beige undercoat. I bet that that does work real nice for what you're doing. I bet that that looks really good. because I actually found, and you guys have kind of seen it, but the Pro Acryl Bold Purite Red is absolutely freaking gorgeous. And if you guys want a super vibrant, super like red, go with Bold Purite Red from Pro Acryl. The first layer always goes on looking a little spotty, and it makes you kind of second guess your purchasing. But then when you put the second layer on, it's just like, oh, this is what you get with Pro Acryl. And it's actually pretty much convinced me that I need to buy the rest of the line because it's just so good. It creates, I mean, you guys have seen a little bit of it, but on the Imperial Fist conversion I did for Belial, I redid his cape in that bold red. And let me find it again. Horus's tiny feet for extra heresy. Well, it does give justification for why he's committing this heresy. Because he has tiny feet, which means he has tiny sock. Let me find the red again. Where'd it go? Imperial Fist. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Here. Let's see. Window capture. Photo? No. Photo? Yes. So, like, this is Bold Purite Red on the Imperial Fist Chapter Master, and you can see it's just like this incredibly vibrant red, and it looks fantastic. One of the things I noticed about my Imperial Fist models when I was playing 40k last night is that he was impossible to miss on the table, and he looks really good because of it. And like even in the darkness, you can see when there's some light on him, it really just shows. And especially when you compare it to like the original, this was me using Vallejo Heavy Red with highlights. And you can see how much more dull that looks even with similar lighting, right? So you get this incredibly concentrated red. My army looks great on the cable. Thank you, I appreciate it. I actually don't like how my Imperial Fists look because they're so wildly inconsistent. And I kind of want to sell off like a lot of it and then rebuy and reassemble and repaint it. Which feels awful to say because I've worked as hard as I did on them, but I just don't like how inconsistent it all looks. I want there to be a little bit more of it, and it's also like the washes that I used I'm not fond of. I don't just want to strip them either. I want to completely redo them because I feel like I could do so much better a job now. And that's unfortunately where my brain is with that stuff. Is I don't want to say blow it up and start all over, but like delete your art kind of thing. Okay, what's going on here? Is that what it's supposed to be? I think that's what it's supposed to be. What happened there? That's an interesting problem. It does hurt to hear, but it's your hobby and you do what makes you happy. Yeah, I mean, my thing is that if I did sell it, it would make someone else exceedingly happy because they're not badly painted at all. I will fight anyone who says otherwise. It's just they're not painted to the standard I want. In fact, I took a picture that I posted on the Discord, and I can show it on the Discord, I think. Yeah, there they are. Open in browser. And go back here. Go back there. Oh. No. There. Go there. Not to there. Go there. Not to there. Damn it, where is it? Bro? Oh, is it just not showing up? There it goes. But yeah. So yeah, that's my Imperial Fist army. This is 2,000 points. And you can see that there's some really odd color variation going on. And it's just because I evolved my Imperial Fist color scheme over a decent amount of time. So it's ended up looking very different. Like Torgaradon is obviously a different yellow than the Aggressors, and he's a different yellow, which are a different yellow than the Terminators, which are a different yellow than the Eradicators, and I love these little custom Mark IIs, but different colors all over the place, and I don't know. I'd like to have a second crack at it, and also try and make as much of my army official Games Workshop plastic as possible. Okay, legs. Now, thankfully, the legs are slotted, and so that slotting should help them stick in even if I don't pin them, right? Like, I shouldn't need to pin these bits. I should just be able to glue them on, and they're going to be okay. So hopefully, that's going to be the case in a second. go ahead and kind of saturate this area with super glue. Press it and hope it stays. And also, I guess because it's locked in, there's less chance of me putting it in slightly the wrong area. So hopefully this will all stick really nicely. Same thing over here. Unfortunately, in smearing it the way I did, I've kind of messed up the nozzle just a little bit on there, but that's fine. I should have dry fit you first, but you go like this. Oh, you don't fit quite right. Oh, I see why you don't fit quite right. Son of a gun. I left something. I left a little bit of a post in there, it looks like, so we're gonna have to shave that down really quickly. If I can get that bit off there. And there we go. Okay, so here that goes, and there we go. Yeah, again, I for some reason, I guess it's just because of how they market their minis. I expected Horus to be much bigger, but on the scope of it, he's huge. Like, here's Soft Servo gave me this, but here's an Imperial Knight pilot in a sitting position, and he barely goes up to Horus's hip. So like Horus is monstrously big by 40K standards, by true scale standards, but like I don't know, I expected him to be bigger, but he's gonna look so good when I'm done painting him. Let's got one somewhere. Yeah, he giant by like the one. It's like here. Okay, here's an infield or a reaver. Yeah, look at how much bigger he is than a standard Space Marine. He is monstrously big. It's just that because the model looks so big in the pictures, I expected him to be even bigger, but he really doesn't need to be because he's huge, right? I want to see like this. Here he is next to a 2004 Space Marine. This is one of the first Imperial Fists I painted. These guys were painted back when I bought them as a tactical squad so I could play Kill Team during the pandemic. You love seeing these comparisons. They really drive it home, don't they? What else do I have? Because I have a ton of stuff in... That's a big difference. That's a big difference. That's a big difference from the big old boy to the little old boy. And aren't Skitarii slightly bigger than... Oh, here we go. An old orc boy. Oh my goodness. First of all, the old orcs have like the greatest proportions in all of 40K, and I will argue with you and prove that you're wrong. But my goodness, look at the difference between these. And like the old orcs had, oh my god, look at that cake. The old orcs, I wonder if I got enough models to make a kill team, because I wouldn't mind trying out the new edition. You pretty much do, because the new kill team is using a full box. Don't do the whole, like, pick your own box. Or kill. Not anymore, unfortunately. I got rid of it. Oh. Alea. From, Yep, there we go. That's more of a true scale. He was also one of my first attempts at non-metallic metal. And you can see how much I've improved since then. But yeah, look at that. Also, her eyes are wild. At some point, I'm gonna go back and repaint his next custodian, or how big he is next to a custodian. Okay, see, this still makes sense. Another non-metallic metal. This one is dry brushed. Yeah, I think these custodians are dry brushed. And the non-metallic metal reads pretty well, I think. But yeah, you can see the size difference going on. Very neat. Okay, so next. I don't think I want to... Okay, so he would actually fit in, like, right here. But I feel like I don't want to actually attach him to his base yet. That doesn't feel like a good idea, you know what I mean? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave him off of his base, and that'll be okay. Those are just bits. Those are just bits of a Marine. Those are Marine bits. That poor Imperial Fist is going to hate his life. But yeah, wow, that's a... I love this model, man. Okay, so what else do we got here? Wow! Oh my goodness! Okay, I love how properly proportioned some of this is, because that's neat. Look at, I mean, his arm is still huge by most standards, and it still fits, but once you start putting on, like, the shoulder pads and everything, this is going to get ridiculous real fast. I dig that so much. Oh yeah, I need to put his knife on him. Mr. Horus, with your knife. Okay, we're gonna take that. We're gonna snippity snip, and then we're going to... Now, is this actually supposed to be the anatheme? I don't know. I don't recall, like, what ceremonial knife he would have on him this late in the game. And again, let's try not to ruin this too much. Yeah, wait a minute. Do they... Wow. They slide the arm underneath the pauldron. So apparently the pauldron does not cover up the armhole. So I can put the pauldrons on him if I really want to. This. I'm so looking forward to painting this. And the thing is, I'm really considering just putting the whole thing together and painting it that way, because I've shown that I'm pretty good at it. But at the same time, it's like, this guy really deserves a lot more care and attention. So, I'm not sure how deep of a sub-assembly setup I want to do for him. You know what I mean? If you've got any advice, I'd love to hear it. But it's just like, how much of him should I assemble, and how much of him should I leave unassembled? Snippity snip. Because I feel like, especially like the mace hand, that should stay unassembled. I should be able to get like full coverage of that thing, full 360 circulation. So that'll really depend on what you guys think. Honestly, I'm impressed that this thing is still cut, considering how much I use it for. Let's see if I can get this without snapping it. You know, I don't like that. That's scary. That's something else. If you can, guys, I do suggest this. Get better snips than what I have. These Army Painter snips are really worn down, and they're really not good. They're working okay because I've gotten used to them, but that's something else I want to purchase for myself at some point, is like a good pair of snips that have a much cleaner cut to them. Assemble the parts you're confident you can get in, but if there is parts you can see but assembly makes it hard to reach, keep it off. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. And that's probably the best way to look at it. Like, this sword... Knife? This knife hooks in right here, but if I were to put it in here, that would create some issues with reaching around his thighs, I would think. So maybe I should leave that off and kind of paint it separately and then glue it in once it's done. I think that's what I'm going to do. So knife... I still don't know what the heck are you two? Oh, okay. This bit goes on one of the shoulders. I love that his head is just kind of screaming off in the corner. You really want to get some God Hand snippers? They're best for gunpla. Yeah, like that's the one I heard about that's supposedly really good. So, God. Is that what they're called? God Hand snippers? Oh, there they are. Oh my God. Okay. I didn't realize how expensive they were. But that's an Amazon price. That can't be real. Is that real? I'm going to die tool because I don't trust Am. Oh my god. Okay. Have you seen the price of their ultimate nippers? Have you seen the price of their ultimate nippers? I get it, because when you want good, but oh my goodness. No wonder I'm looking at the cut it made. Oh my goodness. Okay guys, it's time for us to be real sad about the price of... the price of the... the price. Crap. That's expensive. I mean, again though, I feel like they're worth it because one of the pictures that they have here shows the difference in the cleanness of cut, and these God Hand nippers are really nice. Like, first of all, look at how low profile that blade is. And then look at the cut that it makes. And tell me that that's not worth it. Oh, you can't even see it. I'm sorry. There we go. Like the God Hand nippers versus the standard nippers, you can see how they just cleanly slice through versus the regular nippers, which pinch it. Those would be clippers I would be using for nothing else. Exactly. Unfortunately, I'm too much of a dingus, and I guarantee you I'd find a way to ruin them. Okay. That being said, I think I'm going to be done for the day because I'm starting to get a headache, and that might be because of hungry. And I'm also getting to the point where I'm fighting the urge to just drink from this because it looks like water, but that is soap. So what I'm probably going to do, to be completely honest, is I'm probably going to finish cutting out and cleaning the sub-assemblies later, off stream. I might come back in the afternoon or evening, and probably later in the evening. That might be a good idea. Come back later and play some Space Marine on stream. But I am going to go upstairs and eat some lunch, and probably bring my stuff upstairs so I can hang out with the pets. I do have an incredible pile of cleaned and uncleaned parts. If you guys want to see something wild, I don't think I have anything incriminating here, so I'm going to switch this over to just the regular wide and be sad because of how out of focus that is. That's my workstation right now. I don't know how much of that you can actually see because the main camera looks like it's doing a funny thing. Oop, not what I wanted. Oh yeah, the main camera's megapixel size is much bigger than or so. This is my workstation right now. This is what I have been up to. So thank you guys for joining me. I had a lot of fun chatting with all of you, and you get to see what my workstation looks like. I'm gonna clean this off before I go have lunch. And oh, if you guys want to see something neat, this is how I keep. If you want to look at efficient use of space, I think I might have shown it on stream before, but this is how I keep my paints organized. Mr. Horus, you're gonna go over here. You're drunk. You seem to have lost your head. Let me... This is how I keep my paints organized. First of all, you can see I've got some new speed paints. Yeah, it's been fun. It's good to see you again, Aria. I appreciate you pop by and say. But this is where I keep my paints and my wet palette. It's in that. So this part, I don't want to knock over that glass. This part holds on to like my hand tools. So this just goes in here, and this goes right here, and then I put my wet palette on top of it, and I've got my extra drill bits right there. And I think this is a charging cable. That's a charging cable. And then I have extra wet palette sponge and paper. And then I also like the pretty floral pattern. It makes me happy. There's my paints. There they are. This is the grand degree of paints that I use. Eventually it's all going to be turned into Pro Acryl, but right now this is what I'm using. I've got my washes in the back. I've got a couple of extra washes here for when I run low. These are all my metallics that I don't use very often. And then this to this runs the gamut of my color palette. But yeah, it all zips together and is easy to carry. So the only thing I really need to have extra on me is a paint cup and the model. And I have all that in a little portable station. But yeah, that's how I keep my paints. Man, I'm a lot more tired than I thought I was. But anyway, let's see if there's someone else to raid. Let's see if there's someone else fun for you guys to listen to or watch. If anyone's online. And if not, that's fine. I just realized I probably ought to do more raiding. Oh, Cryo Cheese is on. Let's go say hi to Cryo Cheese. They're another amazing painter. They're really good, and they're probably... Oh gosh, they are doing something really cool. What are they working on? A Blade Champion. Oh no. No. Blade Champion bad. I don't want to show you guys a Blade Champion. Blade Champions kicked my ass last night. They made me humble. But yeah, let's see. /raid... Cryo. I'm gonna wait for this Progressive commercial to finish because I'm not subscribed to them. Oh, they're doing it for a Golden Demon push. Oh my god. Good for them. It's gonna be beautiful when they finish. So we'll see. But let's see. Let's go ahead and do the /raid. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll potentially be back tomorrow or later on this evening. I guess I will see you then. I will be streaming again on Tuesday, and if not, I'll let you know. Otherwise, have a good rest of your day, guys, and bye-bye!